Cry me a river. How's it going, Gio the Uncle? My main man. Are you good if in the hood if? Jello, how's it going? Probably zooted. How are you all doing today? Are we all doing grand and jolly? I hope we are. Otherwise, I will be very disappointed. Nate Diaz, lightweight champion. Okay, then. We're starting with the jokes. First, all of my homies love Guru, of course. Otherwise, they would not be your homies if they did not like the Guru, of course. Fuck off. Thank you, good sir. Sup, hey, gang, or Savoy, did you miss me, geezer? No, I didn't, but I'll say yes, I did. Yes, sir, thank you. What up, dude? Izzy versus Yan commentary impression? Adesanya! I'm surprised that Jan Blachowicz isn't unconscious from these feints, Joe. It was just pretty ridiculous from start to finish, let's be real. Let's be honest, Hamzat is 100% Swedish. He doesn't quite give off the Scandinavian aesthetic. Just going to point it out. Bilal about to make you remember his name. I saw the promo for Bilal Muhammad versus Leon Edwards. The song they used, the chorus is literally... Forget the name. Forget the name. Like, why is that the song they used for the promo? It just is. I know it's like similar, but it's the opposite. You know what I mean? How's your day, Guru? It's doing pretty well. Your Joe Rogan vid killed me. I missed out so many points, man. I could have talked about how I watched the fight back with commentary because they've actually released it on Fight Pass now, which is nice. I like that they're doing that a little bit earlier. However, I listened back to the commentary, okay? I know I made a joke about Joe Rogan diagnosing fighters with injuries whenever they start losing in fights. Like, they literally started talking about how Adesanya might have broken his hand at one point in the fight because he wasn't outstriking Jan Blachowicz. But he was outstriking Jan Blachowicz. So they were saying stuff like, well, maybe the reason why Adesanya has not really been too effective on the feet is because he might have broken that right hand. He keeps touching it. But then they go on to say afterwards, Jan Blachowicz just getting outstruck here by Adesanya. It's like, pick what you want to see. You know what I mean? It's like they knew what they were watching. Jan Blachowicz outstrike Adesanya for the first 3 rounds, and then they just completely ignored it. It was very strange. But, you know, I just feel like it's paid for. So as much as I said the video is called Fire Joe Rogan, they're not going to fire Joe Rogan. They're going to keep him on because of what he did. You know what I mean? Like, they wanted the perception to be that Adesanya still might have won. You know what I mean? But it's ridiculous. So as much as I say fire Joe Rogan for bad commentary, I think it's just the UFC rigging the commentary, man. Obviously, it's just so bad. And if it's so bad, it can't be like human error. You know what I mean? I feel like that's kind of the situation right now. So as much as I'm saying fire Joe Rogan, I think that the whole fucking UFC was behind the way it was. It was ridiculous. I feel like I'm the only one who still likes Aljo. Maybe. I don't mind Aljo. Aljo's a cool guy, but, you know, he's a little pussy bitch. You know what I'm saying? Anik Felder and Bisping would be a good combo. I want to talk about this, though, because I made a community post earlier, okay? Aljo seems cool. Aljo's a cool guy. I made a community post earlier. Aljamain Sterling kicked Piotr Jan in the groin 3 times. 3 times in the groin in that fight. You know what Piotr Jan did? Fuck it. You break in front of me, brother. No time for rest. You know what I mean? Like, as soon as he got kicked in the groin, 3 times Aljamain Sterling kicked Piotr Jan in the groin. Okay? And he just shrugs it off because he knows that Aljamain's looking for a break, and that's why he's kicking him in the groin. If Jan went down on the ground and started going, I can't see anything, then they would have stopped the fight and given it to Piotr Jan. It's so annoying that it's on, like, how much of a... It's basically on, hey, you're going to get the win depending on how much of a bitch you are about this. Basically. They're rewarding victimhood. But, you know, that fits the current climate of the world. Yeah, but Jan's Russian, and that's a killer blood. Aljo does not. I mean, you know, Aljo betrayed Matt Serra. I mean, Matt Serra, they tried to pull the same thing in Weidman versus Mousasi, but it backfired for him. So I don't even feel like... That's like the gym's way of doing it. You know what I mean? Did you see Matt Serra and Aljo are beefing? I did not see Matt Serra and Aljo are beefing. I did not. Drew Dober might just be the greatest ever. Laura Sanko, indeed. Guru hasn't fought any hitters. Okay, cool. Do you think Uros Medic can be top 15 within 2 to 3 years? Yeah, top 15. Yeah, that's likely. Yeah, top 15. Ranked. Yeah, 2 to 3 years. Yeah, say 2 years. I mean, if they give him Guida next, which is basically such a great matchup to get him jumped up those rankings, and Guida asked for a young up and comer next. He wants one of their prospects next. He doesn't want to take on another veteran. So I think like they're probably going to do Aldos Medic versus Clay Guida, and if he beats him, he's going to be like top 40 in the division. So I could definitely see him being top 15, 2 to 3 years. Medic is too small for the weight class. Okay. That's an interesting take. I believe that's incorrect massively. He was a regional welterweight. He's not too small for lightweight. But okay, anything you say. Joe Rogan brings too many eyes to the sport. Who could replace him? Wait, Joe Rogan brought eyes to 259? Joe Rogan doesn't sell pay-per-views for the UFC, okay? No one really even fucking knows who's going to be on commentary until they're watching the fucking event. Every single event you watch, there's like a chat, there's a message in my chat, so many of them, every single event I'm doing Fight Companions for that says, hey, by the way, who's on commentary? It's not advertised, and Joe Rogan will be at 259, and this will sell another 100,000. Like, I think you guys are overestimating the name value of Joe Rogan in terms of changing into $70 pay-per-view buys, you know what I'm saying? I don't think it's really... I think a better commentary team would be worth more to the UFC. Thank you for the $2, Hank Hill. I appreciate you. Thank you for the $2. Hank Hill is his message. Thank you for the $2, Hank Hill. I appreciate you. How far will O'Malley go? O'Malley will go to the top 10. He will not go to the top 5, in my opinion. But he will be top 10, in my opinion. Welterweight has a lack of... That's like saying because... why is that even a topic? No, you don't have a lack of black guys at the top. Leon Edwards is at the top. They're not trying to push him upwards. He's there. You know what I'm saying? Did you see Josh Thompson? And the champion is Usman, but whatever. Have your opinion. Did you see Josh Thompson and Big John basically roasting Aljo's performance in the Yan fight? I did. I've looked at some stuff. I don't know what's going on with Matt Serra and Aljamain Sterling, but what I do know is that 259 sold 800,000 buys, and I fucking said it would sell 800,000 buys, okay? I said 800,000. The Guru knows best, okay? Just if you want to know what pay-per-view buys are going to happen, you listen to the Guru. 800,000. Easy yes. Can you talk about Aljo and Serra situation? I'll look it up right now and see what's going on. Aljamain Sterling versus Matt Serra. Matt Serra felt disrespected and hurt. Aljamain Sterling didn't want him in his corner at 259. Huh? Announces retirement from cornering. Wow. Very, very, very interesting here. Why did Aljamain Sterling not have Matt Serra in his corner? I mean, I don't know what Matt Serra would add to the corner, but why would he not want him in his corner? Opinions on Joe Rogan being biased for individuals with... I mean, it's just his sexual preferences. Matt Serra retired because of Aljo the Champ. Okay. Very interesting. I heard Darren Till said his coach told him after the fight, if you ever get a belt that way, don't fucking show up at my gym. I'll beat you up or something like that. He was really aggressive with Darren Till. Darren Till said that he was talking to his coach, Colin Heron, about how Aljo got the belt. And his coach said, don't you ever fucking show up here. Don't you ever take a belt in that way ever. Because it kind of makes sense because for the coaches, the gym's image is everything. It's not about just winning the fight that weekend because the fighter's going to make the money. The coach is going to get an extra couple of grand here and there when they're making championship money, like an extra 10 grand or something like that. However, the gym's image is big. And if the gym has a belt and everyone knows that belt has not been got legitly and they're parading around, you know what I mean? Like, I understand from a coach's point of view why you wouldn't really want your fighter to get a belt that way, you know? Going to be tough for Aljo in the gym with all his partners. Yeah. Aljo said it was because he wanted 2 bodies more to train with Vegas before the fight. To train in Vegas before the fight. That makes sense. That makes sense. But I don't know. That's interesting. I feel like you should... Why have Matt Serra in your corner the entire way through, but not in your corner for the fight? Very interesting. Guru, why most UK people... They're not, but you're just saying things. The most inviting country in the world. Guida powers up the more he bobs his head. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. Aljo changed his camp to Vegas and only told Sarah he wouldn't corner him like 4 weeks before. Very interesting. Quinto was in his corner. How interesting indeed. I'm saying interesting here. None of what has been said to me here is interesting. But I'm just going to keep saying it's interesting just to butter you guys up a bit, you know what I mean? Guru, is Steven Seagal's front kick the most dangerous kick in MMA? It might just be. Because without that, we would never have the legend that is Lyoto Machida without his guidance. You know what I mean? Guru, what was the best parlay in your opinion this week? The parlay I fucking won money on, bitch. You know what I'm saying? I turned £3 into 20 with Dominic Cruz, Kai Kara France, and also Tim Elliott. Okay? Give me those parlays. That's what I'm talking about. Next fight. And I also got a parlay with Makhachev and Rakic. Okay? That's all I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Just listen to the Guru if you want to make some betting money. On UFC's Leon video, people are saying he's cherry-picking his opponents. What do you think? His Woodley fight fell through. Colby isn't interested, and Masvidal is busy, and Wonderboy's injured. No one talks about that, but Wonderboy's injured, and he's not fighting until May. So everyone talking about, yeah, but Leon's ducking Wonderboy. Yeah, but Leon wants to fight in March, and Wonderboy can't fight in March. They were talking to Wonderboy about the fight. But whatever. They can keep Joe Rogan as he can be as biased as he wants. That's not the problem. The problem is that the other commentators lick his balls instead of correct him or focus on the other guy too instead. Yeah, I know what you mean. They should maybe hear that Joe Rogan is completely rim jobbing Israel Adesanya and then sort of double down on the other fighter. But that shouldn't be the way it is. You know what I mean? That doesn't make any sense. Thank you for the $5, James Davis. I appreciate you, good sir. Mike Perry is going to be on ABC Primetime on the Till card. Right. We'll see what kind of mischief he gets up to, I guess. Thank you for the $5, James Davis. Hopefully he actually walks out to the Halo theme tune this time, James, because I don't know about you guys, but the Halo theme song, if he actually walked out to that for a fight, that'd be so awesome. That's all I'm saying. Like if Piotr Jan, I think more fighters need to do that because it will just make you viral instantly on one event. If Piotr Jan walks out to the GTA 4 theme song, he'll be absolutely famous, massively. If Mike Perry walks out to the actual Halo song, he'll also be famous. That's a cool walkout, you know? Thank you for the $5, James. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. The biggest problem with the commentary, I feel, is is that they talk about bullshit in the middle of the fight. They'll bring up some random shit about another fighter. Like, what the fuck? I know, it's just rambling. I spoke about this in my video. The art of play-by-play is completely gone with the commentary. Completely gone with the commentary. Play-by-play is done. They now just ramble their own rhetoric and points over the top of anything that's going on in the fight. And they'll, like, tune back into the fight when, like, only a big shot lands. And they'll go, ooh. And then it feels like they only judge the entire round off of that big shot that lands. Like, you know what I also don't like seeing in the fight? When the commentary's talking to each other, keep your fucking eyes on the fight. I am sick and tired of seeing a commentator do this during a fight. So what do you, when we were talking about it, and they're just like talking to each other next to the cage. They're not watching. Every single time I watch a fight, I can see in the background, they're like turning to each other and just like talking back and forth here. There's a fucking championship fight on right now. You absolute embarrassments. Okay. 259 did 800K. I told you it would do 800K. That tells me a lot. Okay. Israel Adesanya is not the draw that we believe he is. Okay, because a card, if McGregor had a card like that, that's 2 million buys right there. And I know that he's no McGregor and it's hard to be that, and it's maybe not the correct guy to refer him to. But other cards have done 1 million. You know what I mean? Like Usman Masvidal did 1 million, and that was Masvidal's name. So it's just interesting to see the... maybe it's the pay-per-view price, because that is just too much to ask for people. That is way too much to ask for people. No one's going to pay that. That's so ridiculous. But I think if they lowered the pay-per-view to, say, £40 or $40, should I say, because in the UK we don't really pay for it anyway, especially if you have a brain and know what to look up for and know what to look up. However, I think it should be about $40. I think $40 is okay. That's like a good gym membership. You know what I mean? It shouldn't be $70 a month to watch the pay-per-views. That's like, what's that a year? 700. That's $840 a year. That's too much. That's way too much. Did you not say 900K? No, I said 800K. Stop talking. Matt Serra died. Okay. John Jones on that card breaks 1 million easy. I actually said 900K, in all honesty. John Jones on that card breaks 1 million easy. No, No, John Jones isn't that big of a name. But if John Jones is having a super fight up a weight class at heavyweight, then maybe it probably does. But just John Jones versus like Alexander Rakic, like, or just the next contender, like Jones Teixeira 2 or Jones Blachowicz, it's not selling a million. You know what I mean? Masvidal's actually a really big draw. He is a massive draw. What's your new plan to move out? I have no idea. Joe Rogan is dead, metaphorically speaking. He is. And I'm going to pick my nose for imaginary bogeys that don't exist, but the inside of my nose is itching. We're good. Midway through commentary, Joe will be like, I had a buddy who played golf and he reacted like this when he broke his hand. Okay, he would do something like that. And did I tell you about that deaf snooker player as well? I play snooker, by the way. Just getting that out there because this is my fucking podcast. Your Joe Rogan video is popping off. What are you looking at on the Joe Rogan video? I haven't even checked. Are we still doing well? Are we still trending? 5,500. Okay, and what's that on the old analytics page? We're coming up to 5,700 here. Right, I might actually be in arguments on JRE with Joe Rogan himself in the near future. I swear to God, Joe Rogan, if you're watching this right now, bring me on JRE, because I've got some things to say. And I'll tell you this, it's not going to be a nice conversation that me and you have on JRE, because I'm going to challenge you a little bit here, okay? Because you've had a lot of mistakes, all right? We're going to have a nice conversation about MMA. I mean, it's going to be entirely about MMA. I'm not going to go on JRE and start rambling about my life story for about an hour. Oh, my dad was mean to me once. You know what I mean? I'm not going to do that on JRE like most people do. We're going to talk about MMA. Okay, Joe Rogan? So get me on the show. And let me challenge you on some points. I just want to know how he scored the fight. I want to get Joe Rogan to get off of the fucking fence. That's what I want Joe Rogan. I want to know what Joe Rogan's opinions are, okay? And I know that he has a podcast every week that he does for hours. I want to know what his opinions are on topics because they seem to go either way depending on who's in front of him. So I want the real Joe Rogan opinions, that little shape-shifting chimp, okay? John Anik would remind everybody the history of fighting and the reference to Stone Age partway through a fight. I know it's ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. They're rambling about something nonsensical, and Jan Blachowicz has landed a jab to the body, inside leg kick, and a lead hook upstairs. Like, it's just, and they're just rambling about something else. And then Adesanya lands a good leg kick, and they're like, ooh. You know what I mean? Guru on JRE will be over 40 minutes. No 2 hours, you'll destroy him. Yeah. I mean, they probably would kick me out if it did get a little bit aggressive. But they kept other people they've argued with on for a long time. So definitely you'd keep me on. You know what I mean? Leon Edwards will KO Bilal this week. He will prove his point. I believe that maybe there's a KO in store. And I think the odds are going to be rather raunchy for that potential as well. So I'm going to check them immediately as you said that to me. I did say that decision is almost guaranteed with Leon Edwards. I do believe that. However, the way he's been talking in the lead up and also the way that Dana White's been talking, Leon Edwards will get a title shot if he wins. Impressively. I doubt Edwards is going to risk going to a decision here. You know what I mean? So, let's see what the odds are for Leon Edwards by Takao. I want to KO him on the chin, the fight. I'm loading. I'm not in my bag. I'm loading. Edwards looks like he's in crazy shape. He often is. Seth Pino, the guy is incredibly stupid. Did you hear Kevin Holland on JRE? He's not a very smart guy. Kevin Holland just has problems with everyone, and I don't know. I just feel like he has unnecessary problems with everyone. Like, you don't need to disagree with everyone. You know what I mean? I think he's one of those guys that just has to disagree with everything. You know what I mean? He'll come up for his reason why once he's asked why. You know what I mean? He doesn't have a reason why, and then this is why I don't like them. It's like, I don't like him. Why don't you like him? You're not a real fighter. You know what I mean? Like, he like figures out his own reasons why you don't like someone before. You know what I mean? It's weird. It's a weird order of doing things. But I like Kevin Holland. He's a cool personality. You know what I mean? Why do I feel like Joe has powers? Why do I feel like Joe has posters in his shower of Francis Ngannou and Mark Jacasey shirtless? A very interesting choice of Mark Jacasey, but then again, he is in good shape, to be fair. I want Leon to lose this week, but the welterweight division is full of divas that don't want to fight. Not many options for him, indeed. They act like it's a get-together at a bar. What's up, guys? You're also here tonight. Let's get something to eat. Oh, something to drink. And then the fights happen to be on in the background. Very similar to JRE Fight Companions, no less. Kevin Pooland, okay. Brunson plans to stomp on Holland's face pride-style. Thoughts? I don't think that would be smart, considering what Jan and Sterling just got up to commit another foul on another event. Don't think that would be a wise idea, but then again, I'm not Derek Brunson. But then again, I'm not riddled with brain damage, so maybe I should be the one giving Derek Brunson opinions, and we shouldn't let him make his own decisions. When am I getting promoted, brother? Soon, brother, you know this. Soon, the time will come, brother. And fuck Emmanuel Macron, brother. I'm sorry. This is part of the movie where I go drunken fist. Botched, and now I'm on my back, and I have no guard. I'm a fucking blue belt in jiu-jitsu, but I leave my fucking guard open to be passed over. What? I'm botched. I'm the new blue belt in the yard. Botched. Juliana lost to GDR because I was thinking of fighting Nunes. Okay. Juliana Pena is retarded, but she's good looking, so she'll get anything she wants in her life. Butterguard. Okay. Aljo has options at bantamweight. One of those options, and the only one of those options, is fighting Piotr Jan. And that's final. We need a rematch right now, okay? Because Piotr Jan's the best bantamweight in the world, and Aljo's got this belt around his waist. So it's a little bit of a confusion for the fans. You know what I mean? He's a purple belt now, sir. I'm so sorry. He's a purple belt. My bad. He's even better. You know what I mean? What's worse, MMA meet? Oh, yeah, he got promoted to a purple belt, didn't he? And I saw that. That was actually recommended to me, but I didn't click on it. He cried. Why did Adesanya cry? It seems like he cries when good things happens, but he never cries when... He didn't cry when he lost, but I saw a video of him crying after he won. You know what I mean? Very interesting, emotional swaying. Yeah, Aljo versus Jan has to happen. I believe so. And I think it has to happen on the same card as Figueiredo Moreno. Let's be real. Cejudo is a harder fight than Jan. Lamau Sterling's a Jew. There's something that tells me that Aljamain Sterling is not quite Jewish. I don't know what it could be, but it's something about Aljamain Sterling that just tells me he might not be under the same lineage of Ben Shapiro. You know, it's just something that, I don't know what it is, but I just don't think that Aljamain Sterling is Jewish. Izzy is a weird guy. We know this. Serkinov or Span? I'm going to go with Misha Serkinov, but I'm going to wait because people will take Span as an underdog because he's got KO power and Serkinov has got been KO'd in his career. So I'm going to see if I can wait on that one because people are going to look to bet on underdogs because loads of underdogs are winning. So I'm going to wait on Dan Ige and I'm going to wait on Misha Serkinov because I reckon people are going to take the dogs in Tucker and Span. So we'll see how things go there. We'll see how things go indeed. You know what I'm saying? I've already got money on Jason Witt though. What's the odds on Jason Witt? Where are you? Where's Jason Witt? He's not even here. No, don't tell me that. Where's Jason Witt? There he is. He's evens. Beat the odds makers again. I got him as a juicy underdog. I actually think Brunson will beat Holland. I'm not entirely sold on Holland because I've seen his performances against Gerald Meerschaert, Brendan Allen, and Darren Stewart. I'm starting to think that as well. But we'll see how it goes. Yeah, I mean, Guru, I actually think the absolute flop that was the best, that was the press conference was the reason for under 1 million buys. Maybe, yeah, maybe that was. Maybe that is the truth. You know what I mean? The press conference was shockingly bad, in all honesty. Ryan Spann almost lost to Sam Alvey. I know. I don't know why he's been given a jump up the rankings. Hey, you got KO'd by Johnny Walker in the first round. Time for a top 10 opponent. I don't know if I don't know if that's really the natural progression of things, but you know. Witt has moved about 20-ish points. You were on the right side of the move, but it's not evens. It's evens. I'm looking at it right now. I don't know what your odds makers tell you, but mine tell me there's evens. Good sir. Kevin Holland is the truth. Okay, good sir. Guru, why does Bilal Muhammad have a pilot's license? Stop saying that, please. I'll donate you $20 if you bet it on Pena first round KO over Nunes. No. Even though it's $20 and I could make money for nothing, I'm not putting my credibility on the line like that, okay? Piotr Jan has been fucked over twice. First Magomed fight, he won, I know, but he got a point deduction and lost a split. Now this, most unlucky fighter, and Piotr Jan helped big. I don't know if you can say unlucky because of point deductions, because it's kind of his fault that he got the point deductions, you know what I'm saying? He's not unlucky, but he's kind of like secretly undefeated GOAT, you know what I mean? But not a GOAT, obviously, but he's on his way. I reckon he's on his way to getting there. He's young. He's so young. That's the worrying part about Piotr Jan. He's just started being 27, I believe. Very recently turned 27. I'm just going to check that information right now to make sure. He's just started being 28, sorry. I'm glad I checked the information to be sure because I doubted myself there. He's just become 28. Today, He turned 28 today. No, he didn't. Sorry. This is the American dates fucking me over again. The 11th of February. Not the other way. Guru, do you think it's better to have a bigger or smaller calves in MMA? I think it's better to have bigger or smaller calves in MMA. Bigger? You don't have small calves. Obviously, bigger calves are better. You know what I mean? But it depends. If you're sacrificing calf density to be way taller than and rangier than all of your opponents, it depends. Depends what you want to be. You know what I mean? There's different builds that are going to be very effective. Reach seems to be a huge factor in every single division, and length. But, you know, it doesn't always have to be that way. Depends who you're fighting. Guru, you think it's better to have a bigger, or I've already answered. I think I just read it again. It's so obvious they need Pierre or Cape. How does Yan fare against Garbrandt, Cruz, and Dillashaw? I feel like he would do well against all of them. And Cruz, in my opinion, the Casey Kenny performance, it was a win. You know what I'm saying? It was a win. It wasn't enough for me to say, Cruz is going to get the belt. You know what I mean? I don't know. I feel like there's like levels above Casey Kenny, like the Riveras and the Munozes and the Rob Fonts. And then there's levels above those guys. You know what I mean? Like, even I don't know if I think that just barely scraping by against Casey Kenny, although he won clearly, in my opinion, it shouldn't have been a split decision. Just him scraping by, and I don't think that it was clear enough for me to say that Cruz is going to become a world champ again, in all honesty. But I like Cruz. I want to see him versus Frankie Edgar next. Maybe he looks better after the little bit of momentum, you know? Can Sober Costa beat Momentum Whitaker? No. There's zero chance. There's zero chance. Momentum Whitaker is on a different level. There is one white hair in my beard. I shall perform the extraction process. We're good. We're good. Guru, how do you see a Clay Guida versus Uros Medic ending? I see Clay Guida versus Uros Medic ending with Guida out cold on the floor. However, because it's Clay Guida, he'll probably end up winning somehow. Does Cruz beat anyone in the top 5? Maybe Rob Font, because he's unproven. I know he beat Moraes, but you beat Moraes 2 months removed from a KO from Sandhagen. Like, I don't care. You KO'd him with a jab. Rob Font's never KO'd anyone with a jab in his entire career. So it's not like he's, the legendary jab of Rob Font. He's not like Josh Emmett. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I just feel like people overrate Rob Font because he got like a shell of Marlon Moraes to take on, in my opinion. And like Munoz beat him. You know what I mean? Ricky Simone almost beat him. It was a close fight. Simone's unranked right now at bantamweight. You know what I mean? How would Prime TJ do against Yan? Prime TJ do against Yan? I'd say Prime TJ does pretty badly. He's a little bit too chinny. I think Yan just has it. He has everything. I think everyone in their prime loses to everyone nowadays as well. So I'll follow that. But yeah, I don't think that TJ is going to be able to take those shots, in all honesty. Thank you for the 80 pence, Jay. I appreciate you, good sir. However, I think Prime TJ actually could do well against Yan. I think Sandhagen and Dillashaw, winner of that one's going to be the biggest threat to Yan from now on. Everyone else, I think he can beat. Garbrandt, I think, is going to get too emotional swinging and just get dinked. I don't know. I don't see anyone else beating him at bantamweight other than maybe the winner of Dillashaw Sandhagen. That's the one I'm looking at, you know, because they can do a little bit of everything. Dillashaw a bit more than Sandhagen, but I'd say Sandhagen's a little bit more dangerous on his feet, you know what I mean? So it'll be interesting. Sandhagen's got a better chin as well, so that's a little bit more important as well. Guru, Bilal win or you lose, it's a win-win situation. What do you reckon? Bilal win or lose, it's a win-win. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Bilal Muhammad, if you're a ranked contender, take these fights. You know why? Bilal Muhammad, better contract for the bout because he's in a main event. So he's going to improve his money moving on into his career. He gets a chance to win and jump right up the rankings. He's in a main event, so his show that he does on the weekends is going to get more. Like, you know what I mean? Absolute fucking booms here. Diego Grassa, stop spamming in my chat, please. Rob, legendary Puerto Rican jab power font. Okay. Yeah, but is that juiced TJ or pre-juiced TJ? Okay, let me just... Okay. I don't think TJ was on roids at bantamweight, man. I know that Cody accused him of it, but EPO was like the known big roid that wasn't being tested for in MMA, like for a while. So, as much as I don't want to defend TJ here, they went back and tested his bantamweight samples with their new testing that they found his current EPO in. And they found nothing in his old samples at bantamweight. That's all I'm going to say. So, in my opinion, it's still yet to be proven at bantamweight. But there's a likelihood that he was also on EPO during that time. Let's be real. Clay Guida could get a win off Khabib, but it's not finalized. You know what I mean? I'm not even answering yours. Sorry. Because it's just so delusional. But it's not finalized that he was on EPO at bantamweight, in my opinion. So we'll see what happens when he comes back. And I'm not just saying if he loses to Sandhagen, that proves it. He was on EPO. But, like, let's see what kind of shape he's in. Let's see how fast he is. Let's see if he's still got the pop in his hands. You know what I mean? Guru, can you give us your perspective on the UK's knife stabbing problems? No one knows what it is. No one knows what it could possibly be. But anyway, it's almost like, you know, whatever. Thoughts on Jake Paul releasing Woodley's number? It's Jake Paul. That's what you sign up for. Khabib fans are so weird that because Makhachev is getting marketed as being better than Khabib, if you argue that he isn't, they'll get angry. Oh! Dariush and Olivier Aubin-Mercier tapped out Drew Dober a round faster than Islam Makhachev. No one talks about them being champ. It's so annoying. It's so dumb. But whatever. He tapped out Drew Dober. You know what I mean? The guy who has no fucking ground game. Whatever, though. All good. Brunson will show the world he's the greatest middleweight ever next week. Very interesting. I don't think that's going to be proven by a win over Kevin Holland. However, I like your moxie. Ryan Spann versus a drunk Alistair Overeem. Very interesting. I think that Ryan Spann is naturally drunk anyway, so they'll actually be on each other's level. But I'd go with Overeem taking him down and embarrassing him there, most likely. On a real situation, I don't think that he would be KO'd by Ryan Spann. I think he could probably get him to the ground. He's a much bigger man, if you actually want a serious answer. McGregor, maybe not now that he's been chinned by Volkov, because that was like the final straw maybe, but like a good Sakai area over him. I reckon he can get that win over Spann. Askren's looking like shit, I'm sorry. I think he's baiting it, though. There's no way you actually are that bad at throwing hands. It's not hard. I know people like to say that you've got to do years of boxing, but like, someone could have never boxed before in their life, take 5 pointers from someone sitting next to him that actually does know what they're doing, and they can look like they know what they're doing. Like, it's... I think Askren's intentionally being stiff with his hands, you know what I mean? Someone in this chat should change their name to Ryan Spann. No. That would be character assassination and fraud. Maybe Islam wanted to spend some extra time in the octagon since he was out for so long. Yes, that's why he went for that armbar in the first round. That was it. He went for that armbar so he could get to the third. You've got it. You've actually got it figured out. This guy's got it, man. This guy's got it. What was your name? Diago Grassa. Yeah, man, you've got it. You've got it figured out, man. That's why he went for the armbar in the first, because he wanted to go into the third round. Correct. Vernicius Maher versus Rodolfo Vieira prediction. I'm going to go with I don't jolly well care. Okay? I'm worried about Aljo fluking a win in the rematch. Same here. I think there's a chance he can like spin him back fist fluke against Piotr Jan. There's no way he's better than Jan. We saw that. But he can still win. And that annoys me because if he does win, he's technically 2-0 against Jan. And the UFC will paint the narrative. Aljo's proven he's the best in this weight class. Even if he just gets beaten up and then spinning back fists him and Jan goes down. Like it. I don't know. I hate this sport. And I've noticed it more and more. You know what I hate more than anything? And I'll hit you with some facts right now. Every fucking media member is talking about how Israel Adesanya lost. No one is talking about how Jan Blachowicz won. And I haven't heard from anyone in the spotlight that Jan Blachowicz outlanded Israel Adesanya at range for the first 3 rounds, man. I hate that they can't admit that. It's all about, well, the size really came into effect in those later 2 rounds. Well, how that you don't have a problem with a decision. So what do you give before that? You know that you don't just win a fight off of 2 rounds, but you don't have a problem with the decision. So how about any one of you MMA media members that's in the spotlight just say it how it fucking is in those early 3 rounds? Because you know it wasn't a robbery, but you can't quite say past 4 and 5 what rounds Jan Blachowicz won. How interesting. I just think they're in denial. And everyone thought that Israel Adesanya is the best striker in the UFC. And he got outlanded at range by a guy that Adesanya rated a 7.5 out of 10. Is Jan Blachowicz going to get a fucking 5-star striking rating on the game? He might already have it, to be fair. But I think he should be bumped up a little bit because he literally outlanded Israel Adesanya at range. Media decided that Israel is a star. Okay. Islam fans unironically tell me Islam is the most underrated fighter in UFC history. I think Islam's rated highly. I think he's rated not correctly in terms of how much he is rated. You know what I mean? McGregor is the best shape of his career. After the time off and got KO'd, Leon is in the best shape ever after time off. Yeah, but McGregor wasn't in the best shape ever in his career. They just say that. He did look in good shape, to be fair, but like, there is no correct shape for MMA. I'm sick of hearing that shit. He's in great shape. There's no correct shape. We learn this every single... DC was a 2-weight world champion in this promotion. Do you understand me? There is no correct shape. That's just how it is. I don't care how good of shape someone's in. I might have said it in a couple of prediction videos if a guy is like morbidly and saggily obese. But like if you're in shape, like physically, there's like... You don't have to get to like the point where you're 0% body fat. I know it's not possible, but you know what I'm trying to say here. As long as you're in shape, you're in shape. Now, I know that whenever a fat guy wins, like Joe Rogan starts saying, you don't need muscles to be good because one fat guy won. You need muscles. You need to be in good shape. But like, if you're like in a certain amount of shape, you can't go as far. You can't go as hard. You know what I mean? Like, you can maybe catch someone a little bit faster if they're throwing the same punch at the same time as you. But those rounds go on. Like, Aljamain Sterling has better muscle definition than Petr Yan by far. What happened in a fight between a pair of them? The more muscular defined guy, gassed out early, trying to throw hard, trying to beat him to the punch. And the guy who wasn't as defined muscularly came back in the later rounds. You know what I mean? Guru, have you seen the photo of Khabib, Usman, and yes, Usman Nurmagomedov? It's a funny picture. I've seen it. Everything that's happening with Yan just happened with Dustin. Why weren't you talking about that? I was the only one. People act like I'm a Conor Nut Rider. I'm not. I just picked him to win. Man, I literally said in my post-fight speech, no one's giving Poirier the credit. I was the first person to bring up the fact that Poirier caught McGregor with a punch. Fact. Everyone was talking about the calf kicks. I was the only one that said, no, it wasn't the calf kicks. It was a right hand as Poirier went backwards. You can go and check my video reacting to it. Your beard is growing wildly good, sir. Thank you, good sir. I appreciate you. Had a wank today, Guru? That's none of your business, okay? Trump is... Where is he ranked on your top 10 of all time? Yeesh. This sets him back. He's not even on the top 10 of all time. Let's go, Sandra. You told me all week about Adesanya. Sorry, dude. Probably a tough pill to swallow for you, man. You're a big Adesanya fan, I know. I'm so sorry. I think the RDA fight will be very tough for Islam. I think it's honestly going to end up... I think it's going to open up a lot of people's eyes because I don't think he's going to look dominant at all if he wins. I think he will win. Like, before the RDA Paul Felder fight and before the Makhachev-Dober fight, when they first were matched together, I was thinking, you know what, RDA is a big underdog. Might pick him here as an underdog because he's got good takedown defense. But after watching Makhachev-Dober, it was a dominant win. And then RDA got Felder on. It should have been a free win for RDA. Let's be real. And it was really close. And Felder could have got a round, definitely. But could have maybe snuck a second round. There's no way he wins, so I don't know what the split decision was about. But RDA is going to get taken down by Makhachev. I didn't like what I saw in the Felder fight. He should have ragdolled Felder 5 days notice, not even training for an MMA bout. There's no way. Is Hooker a reach bully or only champs who you dislike? Oh, sorry, is Hooker a champ? That's weird. Anyway, moving on. Just fucking fucked yourself over there, didn't you? What a mistake. Remove that message and try again in about 2 minutes. Eesh. Nunes, I said that champions in most divisions have a huge reach advantage over their opponents, and it's true. But Dan Hooker's not a champion, so that's why I didn't bring up Dan Hooker. That's why I don't mention Dan Hooker when I'm making the point that champions all have good reach over their opponents, unless they're grappling heavy. But even if they're grappling heavy, you can say that about most divisions, you know. Blachowicz got a good reach over his opponents in his career. Adesanya, Usman, Volkanovski's got a ridiculous reach for his size. Yan's not got a short reach by any means. And then you've got Figueiredo at flyweight. I think he's got the longest reach there. Why is Adesanya still above Yan in pound for pound? Because you didn't see the fight that happened at 259. You're mistaken. Nothing happened. That's why. But then again, Jan Blachowicz has lost, 8 times? So, in their own divisions, I kind of understand why he's up there in the pound for pound. And maybe above Jan Blachowicz. You know what I'm saying? Because 20-0 at middleweight. undefeated champion defending, good contenders that were high up on the pound for pound themselves, like Whittaker. Like, I understand it. Whittaker's gone on to do really well afterwards as well. Reyes has done nothing. Jan Blachowicz, what was his other wins? Jacare went on to lose to Kevin Holland. Luke Rockhold's done nothing. Corey Anderson's done nothing, but he went to Bellator and beat fucking Melvin Manhoef or something. Joe Rogan, no one should cut weight. Joe Rogan after Adesanya versus Jan. The weight played a big factor in the 5th. I hate that, man. It's so dumb. The weight did not play a factor. He got him down. Like, Adesanya did not have any way of getting back up. Like, regardless of weight, that didn't get Jan Blachowicz to takedown in that fight. The timing of Jan Blachowicz got him to takedown, and the open fucking guard off of bottom for Israel Adesanya for Jan Blachowicz to immediately pass into half guard like it was nothing is what won Jan Blachowicz to fight. However, he was bigger, so I understand that there's going to be an advantage. But what happened to all of the talk before where size doesn't win fights and you guys are going to see that speed means everything and then power as well. He's going to land faster and it's speed that means the power in punches. It's not the weight behind the shots. Afterwards, weight wins fights. It must be. Otherwise, we'd have to admit that Israel Adesanya isn't some kind of fucking genie from a lamp that's just fucking got all of these godlike powers. Must have been the weight. Who eats more feints in Till versus Adesanya? Yeesh. I don't know, but both of them are going to be unconscious. The CTE after those feints in Darren Till versus Adesanya. Oh, let's talk about that. There is a legit conversation in the MMA community right now. Who deserves the title shot more? The winner of Vettori Till or Robert Whittaker? If Robert Whittaker doesn't get a title shot after beating Paulo Costa, I'm switching to Bellator. Okay? And that's a fact. I'm not taking it anymore. I'm not taking it anymore. If Till Vettori winner gets a title shot because Adesanya picked him, that's not how we do things in the UFC. We don't, the champion doesn't pick contenders, okay? Whittaker is scared. So dumb. You're so dumb. It's okay. We're all friends. Guru looks like a Skyrim NPC. Thank you, brother. I took an arrow in the knee. RDA rapes Islam. I've never heard that line in Skyrim. Aldo versus Marlon. Tour prediction. I'm going to go with Marlon. Marlon who? I'll probably go with Aldo in a rematch, seeing as Moraes has taken a whole bunch more damage in his career. Like, he didn't give him enough time off, so getting TKO'd twice in like 2 months, it's like career-changing damage to take, you know what I mean? Rob Whittaker hasn't a reach or a weight bully, but when he was a champ and Jan's takedown with the feint, and then the 5th did most of the fight, Rob Whittaker wasn't a reach or a weight bully when he was champ, and Jan's takedown with the feint in the 5th did most in the fight, and the commentators didn't even talk about it. Wait. I don't even know how to dissect what you said. They did talk about that's all they talked about it in the 5th. That's all they talked about was the takedown in the 5th. I don't know what you're saying. You didn't make a point there. I'm sorry. You typed the whole paragraph, but I don't know what you said. Thank you. It was English as well. So that's a real world record you've just got there. Thank you for the $5 Astro Cakes. I appreciate you, good sir. Guru, your thoughts on grabbing Marcelo Rojo, Belal Muhammad, and Rafa Garcia parlay ticket? They might beat some pretty good dogs. What do you think? A parlay? I'd say bet on them individually, maybe, because individually, if one of them pops off, you might be worth the free bets individually that you make. But looking for a parlay with all 3 of them, now I've denied that you should do this. They'll probably all end up all winning. But I wouldn't parlay them together. There's enough value on them individually as underdogs. I don't think Marcelo Rojo beats Charles Jourdain, but whatever. I don't think Belal Muhammad beats Edwards, but I understand why you would pick him as an underdog because he's worth a lot of value on the underdog. I think Leon Edwards should be a slight 100 favorite in the 100 area, the late 100s. Not some ridiculous massive favorite, you know. I mean, he's over a 2-1 favorite here. That's ridiculous. So definitely take some Belal Muhammad action. But Leon Edwards by TKO, £1 gets you £4.50. And that is really nice. By decision doesn't really get you anything. But I don't mind his chances looking for a KO if he starts to sense that Bilal's not really winning and he starts to control the range and he wants to land that elbow or something. I don't mind his chances, man. Bilal's been KO'd before. Aldo Sterling prediction. I'm going to go with Jose Waldo. I'm probably going to go with Aldo. I don't know, man. I found out a lot about Sterling. That's all. I found out a lot about Sterling. Maybe he paces himself in future and he doesn't go that crazy and he controls it more. Actually, I wouldn't start picking Aldo over Sterling. I'd probably still pick Sterling over Aldo, but it'd be interesting. I just don't like Aldo's output, even in 3-rounders nowadays. He's just so terrified to gas out. It's such a problem. Like, at least Aljamain gassed out with 70 significant strikes thrown in the first round or something like that. But Aldo, like, he wants to keep it under 10. You know what I mean? Let me ask if a dono comes in. Let me check if the dono came in. Astro Cakes, thank you. There was another dono, though, apparently. There was not another donation. There was not. It does not exist right now. So if anyone tells me I've missed a donation, you are lying to me. I think you forgot a dono. I did not. Thank you, Cake Z, for the money, dude. Odds on Hardy getting his job back. Good. I think they're good odds. I just don't like that we found out it wasn't inappropriate behavior, okay? It was an argument. He literally just argued with a woman. And he's fired. That's so crazy. Man, I don't know what is. We can't even mention it because I'll get banned. But whatever. Check Cormier's Twitter. He responded to the criticism of the commentary. Okay, I shall. This is going to be a good one. Daniel Cormier. Did he actually respond? I want to see what it's like. Welcome to 2021. Thank you very much, good sir. Round one and what round? Wait, hang on here. Here we go. Okay, here we go. Detail. Jan Blachowicz versus Stylebender. Here we go. Are you going to dissect Rogan and your own extremely biased commentary? I just rewatched. I don't agree at all. I was actually speaking to Jan and the times he was successful. Okay, he's in complete denial. All right, I had to fight 2-2 going into the 5th, and after watching it again, I feel the same way. And by the way, Jan did bite on a ton of fakes and feints. They mean nothing. They mean fucking nothing. You fat flyweight. I'm going lower down the weight classes every single time I insult you. What the fuck? Oh, and by the way, Jan did bite on a ton of... Doesn't matter what he did. If you're not using them to land significant strikes, it means nothing. He bit on feints defensively every time. He never bit on feints to land a shot back or to sneak on the inside of a jab. He only reacted to feints defensively, which means that Adesanya could not have any openings. You little fat cunt. Round 1 and round 3, although round 3 was much more competitive. No! I have round 1 on activity. Oh, no. Oh, no. I have round 1 on activity. He got outstruck by 5. I can't take this anymore. They're in denial. Round 3 is the only round. Honestly, my opinion of the Jan Blachowicz-Israel Adesanya fight, I've watched it a couple of times now, on and off of commentary. If you think round 3 goes to Adesanya, okay. I can see it. If you think round 1 goes to Adesanya, who do you want to win? You know what I mean? Who do you want to win? If you think round 2 goes to Adesanya, your brain isn't long for this world. Okay? About as purple as Aki. Okay. DC, you fat atom weight. We'll go down there. We'll get there. Bless me with a Le Candela. Thank you, good sir. Yan 5-0. I say Yan 4-1. But 5-0 is also possible. You know why 5-0 is also possible? Because he did get a takedown in round 3. Although he didn't secure anything from it, the fact that he also outlanded him, this does mean something. He outlanded him on significant strikes. He landed good significant strikes. He landed the majority of them to the head that people seem to think is worth a lot more than the legs from all the Holloway controversy. Holloway won. Leg kicks don't mean anything. Izzy lost. Leg kicks mean everything. It's so weird, man. I hate the bias in this sport. Thank you for the $3. Most overrated UFC fighter. Well, the most underrated of all time is Drew Dober, of course. Joe Rogan told us. However, Dr. Jurad, $3. Most overrated UFC fighter. I don't know. I don't know if I want to answer. I don't know, man. Don't make me fucking answer this. Makhachev is up there because I knew that was going to happen with him and Dober because Dober got choked out by Dariush and Olivier Aubin-Mercier earlier than Makhachev did it to him. So I would say any Dagestani fighter, maybe any of Dagestani origin. They might be correctly rated, okay? And they might go on to become the champion. But no one gets touted as a champion so early in their career compared to Dagestani fighters, just purely for their name ending with a V. And it's ridiculous. Thank you very much for the €5.49. Ryan the Mediocre Man Span. Trademark guru surname given there. Thank you very much, good sir. I like that nickname. Who is next for Umar and Bryce? Character assassination by Thomas Goffinet also. Damn, after last weekend, I lost respect for DC and Aljo and gained respect for Anthony Smith. €5.49. What's next for Umar and Bryce? I say let me look up what's next for him. Sorry. I can't believe that DC thought that he won round 1 on activity. You can say he won round 1, but you can't say that he won round 1. Adesanya didn't win round 1. You definitely can't say that he won round 1 based on activity of not landing more shots. He was so active that he landed way less than Jan Blachowicz. And that's why he won the round. Don't argue with me. I'm DC. I've been in the cage. You've also been KO'd a couple of times. And maybe your brain doesn't work the way it should. Okay? Let's just say it how it is. DC's a dumb fat atom weight. Umar and Bryce. Right. Bryce Mitchell, I think, should take on Hakeem Dawodu. I think that's the fight to make. Everyone else is kind of booked up at the bottom of the featherweight division. So I think it should be Hakeem Dawodu. Not only do I think it should be, but both of them are recovering from injuries. Bryce Mitchell had a broken hand. Hakeem Dawodu pulled a shoulder muscle or something like that. I think it was his shoulder. So I think Bryce Mitchell versus Hakeem Dawodu would be fine. You know? I think that's a great matchup. Or Bryce Mitchell versus Movsar Evloev also would be good. But those are the only ones that are out there right now. And I don't see Josh Emmett looking for a Bryce Mitchell matchup down the rankings anymore. I think he's done that. He's on a win streak. Bryce Mitchell versus Hakeem Dawodu or Movsar Evloev, either of those two, I think are good matchups for him. So he'll take on those guys next. And Umar Nurmagomedov at bantamweight. Let's see what's next for him. I would say let's do Umar Nurmagomedov versus some guy that's good. Where is he? Where's Umar Nurmagomedov ranked? Wait, is Umar Nurmagomedov not ranked? Umar Nurmagomedov's not ranked on Ranking MMA. He beat a guy who hadn't even made their debut. Wait, this is him. Mark Striegel. No, not Mark Striegel. Where's the guy that he beat? Sergey Morozov. He's not even ranked. He's ranked number 32? I was looking in the 70s. He has 1 win. And the guy wasn't... The guy wasn't even in the UFC. Why is he ranked number 32? Why is Timo Valiev ranked number 31? Maybe do Timo Valiev versus Umar Nurmagomedov. I just said both of their names in the same sentence. So let's just do Timo Valiev versus Umar Nurmagomedov. That's terrible. That is really terrible. He's won 1 fight. He jumps over 40 different names in the UFC. Now, fair enough, some of these names aren't the best, and he is 1-0. Jesus, there are a lot of bantamweights that aren't on winning records. Maybe he should be ranked number 30 or something, but I just feel like maybe, Kyung Hyo Kang, 3-fight win streak right now, 6-2 overall. Maybe he should get a little bit of a bump up, who knows? But okay, he's undefeated, so yeah. Wow, this bantamweight division really drops off after 40, doesn't it? That is really bad. But yeah, he's Dagestani, so just jump him right up there, I guess. That's so annoying, man. That's so annoying. Whatever, though. It's all good. Anyway, moving on. Why did Aljo fire Matt Serra? I don't know. Maybe he was sick of his voice. I get it. You know what I mean? As much as Matt Serra is a cool guy to listen to now and again, if he was just in your life constantly, that voice would get really annoying. So, you don't know. I don't mind. But it was a bit of a mean thing to do. Like, he's been there the entire way through Aljamain Sterling's career, and now you've got a title shot. He doesn't get to be there for it. You know what I mean? Aljo's getting flamed on his IG. I mean, obviously. Jan literally got 1 million followers nearly from the fight, and Aljo didn't gain a single percentage. You know what I mean? Like, he gained some, but, like, Yan went right up to 1 million followers. People know who won the fight. You know what I mean? Is Yadong Song's future promising? No, but yeah, he is 23, so yes. The fact that he's even in the UFC this young in his career and he's winning fights or making them close, even if you think he got gifted a decision, just shows that he's on the right path. You know what I mean? Like, he's going to get there. 23. I say take some long time off now as well. You know what I mean? Daniel, the last scale bender Cormier. Nice. The towel bender. Daniel Cormier. Daniel, the last towel bender Cormier. Watched Gavin Tucker's last interview. Dude's weird as hell. I haven't seen Gavin Tucker's interviews. I'm having imaginary bogeys in my nose. I'm sorry. There's nothing up there, but just itching for some reason. Thoughts on Tapology dropping Izzy from number 1 to number 10 in the middleweight rankings after losing to Yan? I don't know if that... No, that's not true. Not a middleweight. If they did, then that's some kind of mistake, obviously. There's no way. Stipe would have crushed Izzy, lol. Yeah, he would have. How would Sean Brady do in welterweight? I think Sean Brady will do very well at welterweight. I think he'll beat Li Jingliang, but I don't know who he's going to beat up the top, but he's very dominant, so it's not like you can say too much. Like, if he went out there and had a Court McGee-esque performance against Jake Matthews, maybe we could start saying, hey, it was close, so this guy's probably going to have enough to beat him, but Brady just dominated Jake Matthews, and people don't typically do that against Jake Matthews, so I think it was a good win, a very good win to get. Do you think Khabib could take down Usman? I don't believe so. If Brady versus Bilal was made, who wins and how? I think Bilal by split. I think Brady. I like Bilal, but his grappling is good, but like he doesn't really get it off against certain opponents. I think Brady would take down Diego Lima and do really well on the ground against him. So I probably pick Brady there, in all honesty. Just having the ability to shoot a takedown on a pressuring Bilal Muhammad, I think it would be really good for him. How do you think Conor after Eddie would do if he fought the Tyron Woodley that fought Till? I think he'd do pretty well. I think he'd have a good chance in winning as well. I'm so sorry, man. There's just some nothingness up my nose right now. It's so fucking annoying. I don't know why it keeps happening to me. It's all good, though. Brady was my lock last card. Good for you, good sir. Very good. Have you seen the sparring footage where Volkanovski wraps Israel, striking and grappling? I have seen sparring footage between them, but I don't believe that Volkanovski was wrapping him in any way. Let's check it out. Volkanovski versus Adesanya. And he wasn't wrapping him either. But they're sparring. It's just like sparring, you know what I mean? Israel's not going to be looking to knee Volkanovski in the face as he shoots for a takedown here. You know what I mean? I'm deleting the video from my tabs. I'm not watching it. Robert Shelley, you're banned for 300 seconds. Don't spam paragraphs. Wonderboy said Yan was outstriking Adesanya and definitely reacting to the feints, defensively reacting to the feints, won him the fight. Good boy, Wonderboy. He's a smart man. Thank you for the $2, Travis Berg Jr. I appreciate you, good sir. How's about you be my sugar daddy? No. Thank you for the $2, though. I appreciate your $2. Thank you. Did you ever check my edits, Lo? I did not. Sorry. I apologize for that. Guru, I did well in sparring sessions, even though I got outstriked and held. And it's gone off my screen. Can you guys stop deleting your messages? It's so annoying. Do you think Yan could have been biting on feints on purpose to try and bait Stylebender in? No, I just think he didn't want to run the risk of actually getting caught with shots. So he'll just bite on every feint. Yes, it's tiring, but if you only do it defensively, then nothing's going to happen to you. You know what I mean? Like his feints weren't James Vick feints. Just throw your fucking arms away from your chin and lean backwards with your chin up in the air. His feints were this. Well, not Poirier feints, but just put your hands up, whatever side you think it's coming from. Block that side, lift your knee up, check if it's a kick to the legs, check if it's a kick to the body. Like, I thought they were all pretty good feints. It's not like he gave any looks where Adesanya would fake a jab and he would go dip on the inside to throw a hook over the top. Like, then he's like sort of revealing what he wants to do. You know what I mean? Everything he did was defensively based. If Tony versus Gaethje went to a decision, who would have won and what rounds? Gaethje would have won the last 3 rounds, in my opinion. Does Tiger Muay Thai have the most amounts of champs, including women's MMA, Alexander, Valentina, and Yan? I believe so. Yes, they do. Yeah, they do. But then again, you want to give Tiger Muay Thai credit for Volkanovski. I know he half trains there, but he also does do a lot of training at CKB as well. So he's kind of just half there, half out. But I know what you mean. They do have a lot of champions. Thank you for the $2, Travis Berg Jr. Happy International U Day. I appreciate you, good sir. Thank you for your $2, Travis Berg Jr. I appreciate it very much indeed. What round did Jan have Izzy in the guillotine? Round 3. Oh, yes, that's what I want to talk about as well. Wasn't even given as a submission attempt. However, I think it was round 3, if my memory serves me correct. Everyone talks about the big shot that Izzy landed, but it wasn't even a big shot, man. Thank you for the $2, by the way, Travis Berg. I appreciate you. It was only a big shot because the fucking commentary said it was a big shot, man. That's actually a fact. Adesanya landed a clean punch on Jan Blachowicz. A clean punch on Jan Blachowicz in round 3. And Jan Blachowicz, what did he do? Took a step backwards because he's getting struck on the face. So obviously he's not in a good range. Like it's stupid. Like he had a moment where he's got a submission attempt locked in on Adesanya for a second, but Adesanya fights out of it very well. But he also gets a takedown and a good knee to the face that could have ended the fight there. I'm sick of commentary telling us what shots could potentially end a fight and what actual shots are the real ones that are hurting people. Any of Jan Blachowicz's shots could have put Adesanya's lights out cold, but they just decided that one specific one that Adesanya landed in round 3 that just so happened to need to be landed big for him to win the round was like the big changer of the fight. Like he got clipped with a clean punch. Same with Adesanya getting clean with a big punch as well, you know? What if Whitaker takes down Izzy and gets into half guard? I was asking these questions as well, to be honest with you. I really was. It's very interesting. And I think it creates a very interesting narrative going back down to middleweight because as much as people don't like to believe it, that guard game is really fucking bad, and it wasn't because of size. He left his guard massive. He left his guard wide open, did not click his legs together whatsoever, left himself open to be passed over into half guard. Like he's got to fix that guard because Vettori can get him down. We saw that in the first fight with Vettori and Adesanya. Everyone shits on Vettori because he thinks he won. Lol, lol, lol. The second round was close. The first round's easily easy. The second round's easily easy as well, don't get me wrong, but it's a closer round, you know what I mean? So in some deluded way, I guess he can think that he can win that second round, but it wasn't a win for Vettori in the second round, that's obvious. Round 3 is Vettori's round, out-grappling him, and he only started to do that once oh wait, I can out-grapple him. I'm going to just grapple him this round, you know what I mean? Like, if he thinks I can out-grapple him, I'm going to do it from round 1. It gets interesting, man. It gets very interesting. Thank you very much for the $3, Dr. Gerard. I appreciate you. No knees to grounded opponent. Dumb rule. I don't think it's a dumb rule. Otherwise, I think jiu-jitsu in MMA would be completely dead. And I think that the ground game in MMA would be completely dead. It is a dumb rule in terms of like what in a real fight would happen. But in a real fight, there wouldn't be no cage. In a real fight, there would be no bouncy canvas for you to bounce off of. You know what I mean? In a real fight, you wouldn't have gloves on. In a real fight, you wouldn't have Vaseline put all over your face. So these arguments about how it doesn't represent a real fight, there's a lot of stuff in the UFC that doesn't represent a real fight. You just have a problem with this one, which is why you want it changed. I don't mind the knee to the grounded opponent rule being banned because I know that it would just, I think maybe this is how it should be, but grappling would be completely changed and there would be no interest in grappling if someone could just smash someone's face with a knee. You know what I mean? Any north-south position, you're dead. That's just kind of how it is, you know what I mean? But I don't mind if they want to change it. I'll live with it if they want to change it. I think it'll be a fatal finish, in all honesty. I wouldn't mind. Actually, I don't mind. Thank you for the $3, dude. I appreciate your $3. Thank you very much, Dr. Gerard. However, I don't mind if they want to. I'm indifferent, actually. If they want to get rid of the rule and make it a thing, it'd actually be a pretty cool finishing move. That will go on Jan's highlight reel. Boom! Big knee to Aljo's face. It will. You could tell as soon as Izzy did that drunken style thing, he was brainstorming up a meme to make about Costa. Yeah, of course. He thought he'd won in the 5th round. That was my opinion. Adesanya went drunken fist. He sort of built it up in Embedded before by saying it on Embedded, and he had this whole thing in his head where it's 2-2 going into the 5th, and this is where in the movie I go drunken fist and KO him to win. And then it was like, oh wait, this guy's also a conscious human being. I'm not the main character of this movie, which I don't mind him believing he is because he's been undefeated for so long. But like, there's other characters in life. You know what I mean? It's not just you and everyone else is some AI bot that's just going to follow along with your storyline. You know what I mean? He's going to shoot a double leg if you start doing this in a 5th round of an MMA fight in front of him. It was pretty weird. You didn't believe in the Polish power. I didn't need to. I didn't believe in the Polish skill and technique that outlanded Adesanya all rounds 1 through 3. So that's my bad. It's not about the Polish power. It's nothing about it. And anyone who picked Jan was literally picking him to one-punch Adesanya out of nowhere. Like, I feel like everyone was wrong. He's just really technically good at striking, and we should have seen it coming when he outstruck Gustafsson in hindsight, because Jones never did that. You know what I mean? Until the later rounds. Jan Blachowicz was literally too much for Gustafsson early on the feet. Gus had to take him down. We should have seen it coming, but we didn't, because there is some perception that the lower weight classes are way better in general, and that's just not the case apparently. How good is Piotr Jan Guru? He's really good. He's really good. In Pride, they didn't. They still have a good amount of jiu-jitsu. Okay, fair play. I don't mind it, man. I don't mind it. I'm indifferent about it. Imagine if Aljo wins versus Jan in the rematch via DQ again, like he gets poked and just stops again. I'm literally... The rules right now, they need to change, because they value a bitch like Aljo, man. Honestly, they actually value victimhood in the rules right now, because Aljo groin kicked Jan 3 times in that bout. Good groin shots, like on the groin. Like if Jan goes down and goes, oh, I can't continue, the fight goes to him. It was only his savageness that shrugged him off, because he knew that Aljo was basically intentionally groin kicking him, because they happened within like the space of 3 minutes, just to get some breathing time after Jan was pressuring him in the 3rd and 4th round. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand. It literally just, hey, if you're a pussy, you can get the belt for it, but if you're an actual guy who's realistic, then you don't get any reward. It just doesn't seem correct to have that seesaw of reward system. Surely the guy who mans up about something is the rewarded one, not the guy. Basically, the outcome is the same. The foul is had, and that's bad, and the foul should not be done. But it's basically like, hey, if you aren't tough enough to continue, you get rewarded, but if you are, you get punished. It's so weird to me, but whatever. Aljo claim to fame is to get the belt for free, indeed. Aljo paper champ, I love trolling that bitch. I mean, let's calm down trolling Aljamain Sterling, but I think that Jan's going to beat him in a rematch, let's be real. I had Jan by TKO plus 320, shake my head. Sad times. Sad. That was plus 320, Jan by TKO. Jesus, that Sandhagen win changed a lot of opinions, didn't it? Including mine. I was really swayed by that. Adesanya was always overrated. He beat a welterweight Gastelum, a concussion victim Whittaker, and a statue Romero, and a drunk Costa. I mean, you know. What is your KO and fight of the year so far this year? Fight of the year might have to be, and I've watched a lot of them, it might have to be Nathaniel Wood versus Casey Kenny. That was non-stop. That first round between Nathaniel Wood and Casey Kenny, that's a real fight of the year, in my opinion. My KO of the year, Joaquin Buckley was last year, so my KO of the year so far, yeesh, what fucking was there this year? Sorry, I can't even think right now. Let me go through some of the main cards and stuff, just to check. Not really much on 259. Not really much on Rosenstruik Garn. Lewis is in the conversation. I know who it is. I know who it is, and I'm going to immediately know who it is as soon as I see them. I know exactly who it is. I just can't think of their name right now, but I knew that I've said this in a couple of weeks ago. I've said that's the KO of the year. Edgar Sandhagen. Sandhagen's got the KO of the year. That's what it is. Sandhagen's KO over Edgar, KO of the year. Flying knee, first round, out cold, body hits the floor, walk off. You can't take KO of the year away from Sandhagen right now, in my opinion. So I'd say Corey Sandhagen. There's some other candidates, but none of them beat Sandhagen. No way. Funny how Aljo's only claims to fame are Marlon Moraes' knee and Piotr Jan's knee. You know. Also, the Sandhagen win is big, but you know. It's interesting. You know he recovered faster against Moraes? He was out cold against Marlon Moraes. He got up afterwards like, fuck, that was bad. You know what I mean? Anyway, time to walk towards my locker room. In this one, he was like, carry me to my locker room. It was crazy. Wood Kenny was last year. Fuck, it was, wasn't it? It was like 242. It was ages ago. My bad. I have CTE. It wasn't even on 242 either. It was like 254. Khabib versus Gaethje prelims. But that might not have even been 254. Let me just really clear my head of correctness. I need to make sure yes, it was 254. Good. Right, so it wasn't this year. So fight of the year so far. Yeesh, there ain't been many good ones. I'm looking through the fights right now. I'm not seeing many candidates. There's a trick who Allberg is in the conversation. Even though Allberg didn't do much back, it's in the conversation. Munoz Rivera is also in the conversation, but that wasn't even that amazing. It was just good compared to the shit night of fights that they had that night. Wow. Fight of the night. Yeesh, I'm not seeing anything. I'm not seeing anything that sticks out to me. All of these fight of the nights so far this year, like Diego Ferreira Dariush got fight of the night. That is not a fight of the night performance. It was a fun fight, but it's just all of these cards have been pretty poor. So all of the fight of the nights have kind of been sort of petty prizes. You know what I mean? I don't know who I give it to, in all honesty. I'll have to ask the opinion of the chat here. Maybe Holloway Qatar. I don't know. Usman versus Burns. No way, Usman versus Burns. Usman versus Burns was okay though. I give it that. Rosenstruik gone. Yeah, Mason Jones, Mike Davis. That was a good fight as well. There's a lot of contenders, but there isn't a clear one. To me, a clear one is like Usman Covington. Like they're actually both in the fight. I don't like it when people call fight of the night when a guy just survives somehow. You know what I mean? That's not a fight of the night. The guy doesn't deserve 50K because he just made it to the bell. You know what I mean? Holloway Qatar. It's in the mix, but I don't know. There's going to be something that beats that for sure. Joe Rogan. Oh, Stylebender caught him on the chest with that feint. Pride Rules Yan versus Sterling is a contender, but the finish ruined it. Yeah, Yan Sterling is a contender. It wasn't that crazy, though. No fights have been really wild, massive, crazy ones. Holloway's performance was amazing, and it was crazy. But nothing's really been like, oh. It's just everything's been, oh. And this guy's still alive. And oh. He's still taking damage. And oh, you know. I need both sides to be swinging. I need a 2-2 going into the fifth. I'm not talking some made-up Adesanya Blachowicz 2-2 going into the fifth. I'm talking about a real 2-2 going into the fifth, okay? Conor Dustin was a good one. No, thanks. They were holding each other against the cage for like 3 minutes in the first round. No, thanks. Don't bring up that ever again. Eugene Till is the front-runner Bearman. If Till gets a title shot over Whittaker, I'm done with this sport. Not watching it ever again. And if Whittaker says, you know, don't mind whenever they ask him if he wants to Adesanya fight, I don't blame them if they pick Till. Whittaker needs to just say that he wants to fight for the title. If you don't want to call out Adesanya, and I know that Whittaker has a thing about calling opponents out, he doesn't like doing it, call out the championship. Don't call out Adesanya. Just say, I want the championship. I've deleted this entire division. I've beaten Till. I've beaten this. Like, we'll see how it goes. But even if Whittaker said he doesn't want it openly, I think just force him in the cage. There's no way he doesn't actually want a title shot against Adesanya. There's zero chance. There's no way you accept fights. Hey, yeah, give me Costa. Hey, yeah, before that, give me Jared Cannonier. And then you're like, no, but Adesanya. Oh, yeesh, not him. You know what I mean? You don't do that stuff. You got to give Whittaker the title shot if he beats Costa. And if the winner of Vittori Till wins, which they will because they'll be the winner of Vittori Till, of course, Guru, then Whittaker should be given a title shot anyway because he's beat Darren Till. Guru, what do you think about Darren Till driving a car while talking to Ariel? He just always does it. I don't know. I think it's stupid as fuck. I hate people that do that shit. I've had friends that drink and they say get in the car. I'm literally not that guy. I don't care. I'm not risking my fucking life. I don't care. In all honesty, I don't give a fuck. I don't like people that do that. I think that's so stupid. He has a wife and kids or a girlfriend and kids. He's a stupid fuck. Shouldn't be on your phone driving. It's an absolute fucking disgrace. That's on my opinion. I know I'm sounding a bit like a Karen right now, but like that's some really dumb shit if you have people that depend on your income. That's really stupid as fuck. I hate people that do that dumb shit. Fair enough if you want to risk your life for like something that's worth the buzz or something like if you want to go skydiving just for the feeling, but you know, you want to risk your life at the same time. Like the feeling is that you're risking your life. you want to risk your life, you could have easily had that phone call at home. It's just so dumb to me. I'm sorry I'm a Karen, but these little things I am a Karen about. It's not even a Karen. It's just being a logical human that isn't going to die. I shouldn't have said that because now I'm going to get like fucking attacked by a seagull at my throat and die. But, you know, it's all good. I don't think you should do that kind of stuff, in all honesty. Why is Vittori so angry? Italian, you know. Italy is not a nice place to be at the moment. They want to leave the European Union. We're not going to talk about that, but, you know. They're in a tough situation in Italy right now, so I'm assuming that's probably why. Inbred, sort of. Not inbred. What's it called? Embedded, sort of. Something that's passed down to you in terms of your emotion. I think it's just a natural emotion. You know. Australian $5, Rusty Tennikun, I appreciate you. Keep up the good work, Guru. I love the content. Thank you, good sir, for your Australian $5 from down under. Thank you very much, good sir. I love your content as well, if you have any. You know what I mean? Inbuilt is the word I was looking for. But also, he's like not even that English. He doesn't speak too much English. So his only sort of way of expressing himself is going to be the most extreme versions of words. You know what I mean? You don't know how to do subtleness if you're learning a new language, or sarcasm, or you don't know how to say something to make it seem. When people learn a language, they know the extremes of everything. You know what I mean? They don't know how to find the dials in between, like as someone who's naturally spoke English their whole life would be able to. So I think that's often what it is. And I think that's often why people miss. Paulo Costa probably is making some decent points to himself, but it's just the way that he portrays it is the extreme of everything. You know what I mean? But he can't be subtle about it, but also he might just be a dumb fuck, so who knows? Thank you very much for the $5 Australian, Rusty Tennikun. Till we'll get 50-42'd by social Darwinism. Don't know what that means. He's got a card, he's exempt. He's got the email, mate. No. I'm fucking exempt, you fucking bully boy. A fucking loser. Hey, did you hear what Matt Serra said about retiring from Aljo's corner? Yes, I did. I did see that. It's very weird that he would do it. Eugene Behrman has a fake-ass bitch who said he didn't know how Blachowicz would get the takedowns he did. Okay. He's not a fake-ass bitch. He's just in denial about what he saw, maybe. Not too sure. How about Adesanya is a purple belt and Blachowicz is a black belt? Ah, man, I can't say that, though, because Rodolfo Vieira got tapped out by Hernandez, so I don't know about that. To be honest, Usman versus Burns is probably fight of the year so far. If not, it's Jan Sterling. Yeah, Usman versus Burns is in there. Title on the line. Yeah. Actually, yeah, you have a point there. Now I'm thinking about Usman Burns. It might be fight of the year because I don't like it, though, because there was like 3 whole minutes in the first round where he laid on his back. So it was like, oops, sorry, didn't mean to finish you there, Usman. I'll lay on my back and let you win later on. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't like that part of it, but in honesty, he dropped Usman in the first. I know he didn't count it as a knockdown because, I don't know, black privilege or something. But second round, Usman smacked him. Then the third round, Usman finished him. So there was the sway back and forth. But if that's fight of the year, it kind of just goes to show there really hasn't been too many barn burners so far. You know what I mean? True, lol. So let me do my work. Figueiredo Moreno, not fight of the year. That was last year. It was in November. Is Figgy Moreno 2 scheduled? It is in June. It's in June. Wait, they didn't count it as a knockdown? No. Guru, I did well in sparring sessions, even though I got outstriked and got held on the floor. My opponent bited on 10 feints, and DC said I can win a round by doing that, and Joe will say I can be underrated. I want to see what the responses are for Daniel Cormier's tweet now you've just said that, because the fact that he just said that on activity, Adesanya won the first round, despite being outlanded 18-13, is criminal. Round 1 on activity. No one's picking him up on this. Here we go. His name is Crack Hardly on Twitter. How did Israel win round 1 on activity? And part of Israel's strikes were checked leg kicks. True. He got outlanded in round 1 on strikes. Nice. Get him. He threw a lot of punches that hit the air and they don't know how to distinguish. Yeah. The damn feints. Nice. They're getting him. Very good. On activity, Adesanya won round 1. He could have said anything, but activity is like purely based on shots landed. You can't say that. Thank you for the $4, Hank Hill. I appreciate you. Leon versus Bilal will be a barn burner. I think it'll be a fun one. Bilal won't let it be boring. He'll make it happen, I think. So that'll be a fun fight. Thank you for the $4, Hank Hill. I think Edwards wins, though. I actually don't mind Edwards' chances of getting an elbow KO because Edwards, I've noticed he does this in his fights. He bounces off of clinch. I love the way Edwards fights, man. Edwards is one of the most aesthetically pleasing fighters right now. He's up there. There are other fighters that are also up there, don't get me wrong. But Leon Edwards, watching his fights, fair enough, there's some sloppy moments in between, but there's some moments of genius in there. He'll like meet someone in the clinch, turn them around. He'll bounce off the clinch against someone and find range. Then he'll bounce off the clinch, separate afterwards into this like dead zone, and then he starts elbowing. I like seeing Edwards do his work, man. He's a real clinician with those elbows. And I think he'll land the elbow on Bilal a couple of times, but we'll see if it KOs Bilal Muhammad, who's been dropped before, been KO'd before, but he's a tough guy. So we'll see how it goes. Thank you for the $4, Hank Hill. I appreciate your $4. I think the money's on Edwards by KO in the 4th or 5th. You know what I mean? In the later rounds. I don't see Bilal getting chinned early. But who knows? Thank you for the $4, Hank Hill. Appreciate you, dude. Appreciate you so much. Propane, all that kind of stuff. If Pena Nunes happens now, spit just came out my mouth somehow. If Pena, sorry, what just happened? If Pena Nunes happens now, does Nunes win? Because we all know Pena's dog shit. You know what? In a same-sex pound-for-pound list, I don't even rank Nunes top 15. She is beating fucking nobodies with no fucking skill. She's the only one who's okay. Don't care. She's done fucking nothing in terms of legacy. There are top 10 contenders at lightweight that have better resumes than Nunes in terms of opponents. It's a fact. It's disgraceful. She's getting free legacy over nothing. And everyone's like, she's the GOAT, of course. Look at what she's achieving. She's fighting girls who are on 2-fight win streaks. She's fighting girls who are coming off losses. She's fighting girls who do not belong in there with her. She has no fucking competition levels. There's no competition for her. I know that normally you'd say that that's because Nunes is so far beyond, but it's very obvious after watching these female fights that it's the fault of the opponents being so far below. She beat Cyborg. The Cyborg win is really good. But Cyborg, like, was touted as this big kickboxing girl that can hang with the female boxers. She swings like a retard. It's a disgrace. They actually need to train, and they need to be trained well. It's so annoying watching them go out there and still not know how to throw a fucking jab correctly. It's madness. It is actually madness that they are. I want to actually be in a gym. I need to go to ATT. That's what I need to do. She beat the bullet. I know she beat some good girls. Don't get me wrong. I know the resume is good. Just shut the fuck up for a second. I just watch the opponents that she faces, you know? Like, it's just not right. You know what I mean? It's not right at all. It's just not right at all. Nothing they do is correct. Even like the kickboxing world champions are just, they're not good at what they do. Like, what are you training? Stop throwing punches like that, Roxanne Modafferi. You've been doing this for a decade. You know what I mean? Like, it's terrible. Anyway, fuck Till. He's not even close to a fucking title shot, and he keeps talking like he is. He's got a long way to go. Yeah, at least 2 wins in a row. Yeah, at least 2. And it's the right 2. It's the right 2 as well. Let me tell you this. If Till beats Vettori, you do him versus the Brunson Holland winner. Hopefully it's Holland. Then you get Till versus Holland. Main event of a fight night. Bigger than ever. Biggest fight night for both of them. And then we fucking do the Adesanya fight. It's got to be a win streak. You have to be on a win streak to fight for a belt, in my opinion. And 2 is like, it depends who you've lost to. The fact that he's lost to Whittaker at middleweight only, I don't mind. You know what I mean? Because he's like the second best. Like if he'd lost to like Weidman and he was below him in the rankings and Till had just got a good win that bumped him up the rankings. Like I don't know about winning just 2 in a row. But the fact that he's lost to Whittaker saves him, and the fact that it was close kind of saves him as well. You've got to be at least on a 2-fight win streak, you know, against some good competition. What do you think will Vettori say in the press conference if he wins against Till? What, again, if he gets a fight with Adesanya? He's not going to get a fight against Adesanya if Whittaker wins, because otherwise I'll stop watching. However, you have to scale her to her gender. But what is her gender? You know what I mean? I told Sweet Pete MMA to shut the fuck up, and he said he would destroy me with his 5'8" of height. Can you believe that? All right. Bilal wins by comfortable decision. Who does he fight next? If Bilal wins, Wonder Boy for a title elimination bout. What they do at Usman Masvidal rematch, which no one cares about. You know. Thank you very much for the $2 Benjamin Bund. I appreciate you, good sir, for your Australian $2. Benjamin Bund. I appreciate you, good sir. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that name correctly because it's an interesting spelled name. I appreciate you, good sir. Thank you for the $2. Thank you, man. Benjamin. Classic. Benjamin coming through with the Benjamins. Bilal versus Wonderboy would be lit, especially if he beats Edwards and we realize, wait, Bilal's actually fucking good, you know? Really good fighter. He is good already, but like if he beats Edwards, it'll be like now he's a real contender, you know? Guru's starting to look and sound like Karl Marx. What does Karl Marx look like? No, I'm not. How is that true? But whatever. Cool. You see, literally Santa Claus. Boxing Block Center posted a video saying Fury's ducking Joshua. Just delusional. But again, wouldn't be surprised. They want to make their money. They don't want to fight all the big names straight away. We'll probably get Fury Joshua. Remember what's it called? 3 months ago? Remember 3 months ago when they said Joshua Fury was a done deal? Remember that? That was funny, innit? Funny stuff. Girl, I've been watching you now for decades, and I've done it for 2 years, and I can truly say your prediction rate is 37%. No, that's not true. But it's weird that you would say 37. That's an often used number. It's a very important number in life as well. Thank you very much for the 37%, but that's not true. I've been actually doing pretty good on the cards recently. What do you think? I've done okay. I know that main events are always wrong, but like, who cares? It's only title fights. You don't need to get them right. Am I right? Anyway, I did good on the 259 though. I think I did better than most. And then Rhodes and Strick Garn, I did good on that card as well. Blades Lewis, I went like evens, I believe, but wasn't a good card nevertheless. 258 again. I'm not doing like 2 and 11 or 3 and 10 and stuff like that. Like my bad cards are even cards on predictions, which I like. I like that now. That's a better lower standard for me. Do an impression of Till after he loses to Adesanya that you did yesterday. And yeah, mate, I just don't know the fucking better man won on an 8, but you know I win that fight 5 times out of fucking 5. But the better man won on an 8. What can I say, mate? I've got a fucking daughter, and you know me, mate. I don't make excuses. But I got fucking plowed into by a truck on the road, and some guy took a fucking AK out of his backpack and fucking sprayed me legs up with bullets and that. But you know, it's a fucking great fight. I can't make any excuses, but I was fucking blind in one eye. But it's a great fight, mate. Yeah, I can't listen to Till talk honestly. It makes me build phlegm in my nose just talking like him. Are you able to say my name? Miniature Sabrosa, mate? Yeah? Jenna exposed your name as Albert today. My name is not Albert, good sir. Do you think that they will ever have an add 160? They'll ever add a 165 and move 170 to 175, or add a cruiserweight? There's 2 Ds in add, just in the future. Or add a cruiserweight. Yeah, they probably will eventually. But it'll be at a time where like there's so many contenders and they can't get title shots. It won't be at a time like now where divisions are wide open. You know what I mean? And the champion at welterweight's like running out of contenders. You know what I mean? Like they'll wait until it's like, you know, when Ferguson needed a shot and McGregor was holding up the division. I think they missed a perfect opportunity during the time off to like create a 165-pound division, in all honesty. I don't really care about Izzy Till. I already know exactly how it'll play out. Exactly, I know. Izzy will win. It's going to be boring, but he'll win, and Till will be happy that he went the distance with the champ. It's true. It's true. It's true. I know it as well. We're on the same page here. I've said this before. You know what I mean? Like, Darren Till's going to go out there. He's not going to get KO'd. He'll just stand on the outside. You know what? Adesanya might not even try and KO him. The only reason they want that fight is because I think they get along and they like each other's humor. But also, Adesanya knows that Till's never going to shoot a takedown on him, ever. So it's just going to be the perfect fight for Adesanya. And Till will just get hit by a couple of punches around, a couple of leg kicks, dodge a couple of punches, and be okay that he dodged a couple of punches. 100%. Where do you rank Blachowicz in the list of best European MMA fighters of all time? Stipe's above him. I don't know. I don't know where I rank him, to be honest with you. He's up there, but the 8 losses stinky. You know what I mean? The 8 losses are real stinky. I like Jan Blachowicz, but that's going to be a big holding back moment in his GOAT conversation. Like, he's won a lot of fights, but he's going to have to win against all of his competition for GOAT. You can't have 8 losses and be a GOAT. Even though he's won the big fights, you just can't have 8 losses. You know what I'm saying? You can be pound for pound up the top with 8 losses, but GOAT conversation takes into consideration your entire career. You know? So Izzy beats Till. Yeah, by decision, 5 rounds. 50-45, easy decision. Did you see Dana say it's up to Nunes on whether they will continue with women's 145, actual free legacy? That is literally free legacy. It's up to her. How is that fair? There's 2 fighters at women's 145. Amanda, what's her name? Felicia Spencer and Daniela Wolf. One of them's already lost to Nunes all 5 rounds. The other one's 1-0. That's the only fighters that are there right now. Duda Santana's cut. The other girl's cut. Norma Jamont is not cut. Sorry, she's down at bantamweight now. She's not even cut. Megan Anderson's not even in the UFC. So there's actually 2 contenders. There's Spencer and Daniela Wolf. If Nunes goes up there again, she'll be defending against Spencer or Daniela Wolf if she wins. If she defends a belt against Daniela Wolf, I'm going to make a point not to watch. John Jones has more title fight victories than Khabib has fights in the UFC. Interesting. Thank you very much. He does. Izzy will 49-46 Till in a snooze fest. No, he won't lose a round. He won't. Till won't win a round. Sorry, I'm just really noticing that Till is very happy to not be champion and just show that he can hang. You know what I mean? That is because it's still a very impressive thing to just not, like, I went 5 rounds with the champ. That's a cool thing to say. You know what I mean? But I just don't think he's willing to take the risks that are required if you want to be a champion in the UFC. It takes getting KO'd. You have to risk getting KO'd. You have to. You have to get punched on the chin. It just seems like Darren Till is so focused on not getting KO'd that he's not willing to take the risks necessary to become champion. You know what I mean? The only guy I think can beat Izzy is Vettori and Whitaker, but then who knows? You know what I mean? I don't think either of them win, but Vittori's like the biggest chance, I'd say, in terms of style. Which fighters would compete in the 165-pound division and who would be the champ? I don't care. So I'm not going through all that. Stipe, Krokop, Fedor, Overeem, Bisping, Khabib, best European. I love you, Salvatore De Caro. Why am I reading out? I'm just responding to things that I've read out before the last thing I read out. But Salvatore De Caro, I love your question. I love your enthusiasm. Okay? I've answered that so many fucking times. I'm not doing it again. Okay? Just going to make a stand on that one. That is not, I'm just not answering that. That's all. I'm done. I'm talking about what's actually happening. Not what could. You know what I mean? I'm sorry to shit on you like this, but that is, I don't want to do that. I'm not answering your question. You understand? I'm sorry. Vettori Adesanya would be epic because I fucking know Vettori will be ready to die in there. Exactly. Vettori's okay to get KO'd. He'll fucking get KO'd and go, yeah, and then get in his face again. You know what I mean? Because I fucking know Vettori's ready to die in there. He's so fucking tough and he's going to bring it. Yeah. He'll get tagged and picked apart at times, but it's going to be a war. And that's what you need to beat Adesanya on the feet. But if he grapples with him, it could get interesting, you know? Guru, do you think the Shabazian has what it takes to be champ eventually? No. I don't like people who have cardio issues. I don't like it. Because, like, it should be obvious how much you need to train to have good... This is how I feel about cardio issues. You should never be in a situation where you need to address it. Ever. Never need to be in a situation. If you're tired going 5 rounds in your gym, don't fucking show up to the fucking fight. People that gas out after 2 rounds in fights, you should never have to address the issue. And if you have to address the issue, it's not like something you can address. I've noticed that with Conor McGregor, even though he doesn't really gas out that much and he can go hard, but I've noticed that with Spike Carlisle. He got shown that he needs to go harder over the 3 rounds. He came back, did nothing. Nothing changed. He actually gassed out faster the second time. It's ridiculous. Can you take a moment of silence for the Till that said he would be a freeweight world champ? I can. And that was the moment of silence. Nate the Train! Yeah. If you were the president of the UFC, what would you do first? Ban the knee to the grounded opponent rule being considered a win for the person who's the victim and consider it a no contest. Unless the champion's losing and he does it, then you can give it. If the person who does the foul is losing hard and they foul, then you can consider doing it like a win or a loss. You know what I mean? Depending on who does it. But if the person who did the foul is winning and they throw it, then it's like no contest, in my opinion. That's the difference that I need to see. Other than that, I'd say ban DC and Joe Rogan from commentary. Give, like, DC a chance. I'm not letting that be in my chat. Out you go. Give DC a chance to correct his behavior. You know what I mean? With some punishment. I don't know what we're going to do, but, like, just hit him a couple of times and smack him in the head, and hopefully he fixes up. You know what I mean? But Joe Rogan's on his last chance. He's out. There's no more chances, sorry. He's not on his last chance. He's had his last chance. He's out. Get rid of Joe Rogan. Make it way better. If Dominic Cruz brings up any of his fights during a commentary, smack him again. I just think we need to get a bit more hands-on. You know what I mean? That's dumb as fuck because everybody has a different opinion on who's winning the fight. No, they don't. Not if it's clear. No, they don't. No, they don't. If you have an opinion on who's winning the fight between Yan and Sterling, you shouldn't be allowed an opinion. That's stupid. Where does Sterling rank amongst all-time great bantamweights? Ooh, he's not even amongst them. No. Why did Izzy fight Yan? I kind of feel like Izzy didn't really want to win. Maybe so he doesn't fight Jones too early. Decided he wanted to move back to 185. I feel like Izzy didn't really want to win. Man. Jan Blachowicz outstruck him because Adesanya is not as good a striker as we thought because he's never taken a belt in kickboxing, okay? That's what fucking happened. Never took a belt in kickboxing of any kind. That's what fucking happened, okay? He's a big kickboxer. He fought the vast majority of his fights against complete cans in a non-promotion. He has an even resume, an even record in glory. Like, no, just calm down. No, that's not how it happened. Adesanya wanted to win. He just lost because he's worse. That's how it is. Thug Rose wearing a dress on Insta and not training. Well, I think you can take a second of time to wear a dress. You know what I mean? I don't think she's on that tight of a resume or a regime. You know, a regime was the correct word. It was not an or situation. It's a no, sorry, it's actually regime. I don't think she's on that tight of a schedule. I've added a new word into the mix of how I'll describe the situation. I'm sure you're allowed to take a picture in a dress. Thank you for $5, Suedo. I appreciate you, good sir. If Yan beats Glover, do you think it's more likely for John to come back down or Yan to move up? That's better. We're good. Sorry. My nose, man. What's going on? Nothing up there. There's nothing up there. It just keeps itching. Thank you for $5. What are you saying? If Yan beats Glover, do you think it's more likely for John to come back down or Yan moving up? What is there? What is actually there? I don't know what's going on up my nose. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I think that it's more likely that Yan will move back up than John come back down. There's no way John comes back down. Unless he loses and needs to get back on top, then there's no way John Jones comes back down, in my opinion. But I think even if he loses at heavyweight, he'll try to stay there because there's still a bunch of big fights, you know. Like, if he loses to the Stipe Ngannou winner, he's got the option to fight the Stipe Ngannou loser. You know what I mean? So, I don't think he ever comes back down to light heavyweight. I think he understands that regardless of what Jan Blachowicz does, there's not going to be a new light heavyweight GOAT other than him in the next decade. So, he can live on that. I don't think he comes down. So, it's more likely for Jan Blachowicz to go up, I'd say. But I don't see that happening because he's like 6'1". So, I don't see that happening. I don't see him ever fighting. Thank you for the $5, Suedo. I appreciate you, good sir. Thank you for the $5. Marvin the Pope Vittori. Why am I itching? I actually hate this. Boogers with Pepsi and ice. Okay. The Yan fight showed us Hermansson could have seriously hurt Izzy on the ground, and Vittori out-grappled Hermansson in moments. So that is interesting. Who is the next star that you kind of want to see lose? The next star? I don't know about star. But Kevin Holland is talking on some nonsense. Let's just be real. Kevin Holland is chatting nonsense. I like Kevin Holland. I actually do like Kevin Holland. Other than his Joe Rogan moments, he actually seems like a cool guy. So I like Kevin Holland. But, like, He's talking some real nonsense. And if he did lose to Brunson, it would be hilarious. You know what I mean? Usman isn't even a good fighter and then loses to Derek Brunson. But, like, you know, it'd just be interesting to see. Makhachev, he's already lost and got KO'd. I've seen it. You know what I mean? Kevin Holland is going to get fucked up by the top 5, maybe. Vettori looks like he's from a Catholic sex cult. Okay, I don't understand what the narrative is there, but fair play. I'm about to lose my shit. You know what I hate? Sorry, I'm just going to say this. As a white person, I noticed this. White fighter exists. MMA social media. He looks like people can look as they are. You know what I mean? I've just noticed some things. That's all I noticed. Let me just give you my white point of view here. Every single white fighter on any picture on social media, he looks like, he's like this. He's like a mix between, is everything. Every single fighter. He looks like, Do you think Alex Maher would do good in the UFC? I'm not too sure. He'd probably no, he's at a good weight class to do it, middleweight. Pretty trash weight class. So, yeah, he's got a good chance. Look at Adesanya. No wrestler that was willing to take him down or go for it against him other than Vettori, who was a striker. So middleweight's the division to do it if you're like a kickboxing guy, for sure. I like his chances. Do you think Alex Maher would do? I've already answered. Imagine like Wolf, yeah. He is half Tom Cruise, half Brad Pitt. Yeah, he's like a mix between them, you know? Tony Makhachev prediction, Makhachev. I'd like to see Tony win a fight first. If they give Makhachev Tony coming off 2 losses, just shut the fuck up, you know? Tony versus Kevin Lee 2. Winner of that one takes on Makhachev. I've got to see Makhachev take on someone coming off a win at ranked. A ranked opponent coming off a win. Let's be real. Does Volkanovski have a pattern record? Early, he does a little bit. But recently, no. But early, he does. He lost a fight early. Upper weight class. Ooh! Upper weight class. I don't know how I just made that picture of... Ooh! But... Volkanovski's first pro fight was at welterweight. Am I wrong? Corey Nelson. I swear. So at featherweight. Yes, it was at welterweight. Volkanovski's completely undefeated at featherweight. His entire career. Every other fight than that one that he took on short notice upper weight class was at featherweight. Volkanovski's 21-0 at featherweight. Is he the GOAT? I think Volkanovski's a featherweight GOAT. Holloway twice. Aldo, Mendez. He's got to build it, but if he beats Ortega, you got to kind of start making the argument, maybe. He's undefeated at featherweight. 21-0. Wow, I've only just considered that. Because that was 170. I remember that. He said that. And it is actually 170. Corey Nelson is a 170-pound fighter who last weighed in at 170 pounds. And he took it on short notice just to make money. Man, I'm sure he regrets that decision. He could have just waited out a little bit and got back in there and stayed undefeated. That's crazy. But no, he doesn't have a padded record, sorry. Not even early he has a padded record. He actually beat a lot of good guys. I was completely mistaken. He doesn't have a padded record. He actually has the opposite. I was completely wrong there. 2-2, 4-1, 2-0, 2-2, 13-5 when he was 4-1, 16-3 when he was 5-1, 15-9, 5-2, 6-6, 2-0, 13-4, 8-0. This is not a padded record. He might actually be the greatest featherweight of all time if he continues to win. If he beats Ortega, I might consider it. He beat 3-round Aldo. Exactly. He beat 3-round Aldo. No one has beaten 3-round Aldo clearly other than Alexander Volkanovski at featherweight. Only time someone's ever done it is at Moraes, but people would dispute that, even though I think Moraes could have won it. But like at featherweight, no one's beaten 3-round Aldo. Interesting. Aldo is GOAT featherweight. Yeah, I'd still say that right now, but if he beats Ortega, the question's got to be brought up. You know what I mean? Tyron Woodley versus McGregor in their primes. Who wins? Tyron Woodley, fucking ass. Woodley, probably. In his prime. He's on broids in his prime. Have you seen Woodley in his prime? Look up Woodley Strike Force. Look at those shoulders. Dude's on broids. Thank you for the $2. PSN Redot Need Comp. I appreciate your $2, good sir. You've just advertised your PlayStation Network thing. So good job, good sir. Thank you for the $2, man. Why is Chiesa fighting once every 3 years? He isn't. He's just happy being a commentator, I guess. Something just happened to the screen then. Alexander is the real most underrated fighter. I would say so. He is the most underrated fighter. Alexander Volkanovski. 3-round Aldo at featherweight. Unthinkable. No one does that to Aldo in 3-rounders. Fair enough, Holloway beat him in the 3rd, but Aldo knowing he has 3 instead of 5 is a big difference. You know what I mean? Hermansson is so good on the ground, but he can't keep anyone down. That's why I never ever pick him. Exactly. Because he goes for submission position too early. Hermansson will never just be in half guard against someone. If Hermansson gets you to the ground, he's jumping to the back. He's jumping for a leg. He's jumping for the neck. You know what I mean? Like he never settles for a bit first, which is why his ground control isn't the best. He always jumps to a submission immediately. It's hard to imagine Yan at 145. Yeah, he's a little bit small. Dober was ranked, though. He took it away from him. They took it away from him. They didn't take it away from him. He just didn't do anything, and other contenders did stuff, so they move above him. It's hard to imagine, yeah. McGregor would KO Volk stiff. At 155, I'd say so, but 145, Volk's got a good chance. I'd say a really good chance. Inside leg kicks against McGregor. I'd say Volk beats him 45 pretty easily. McGregor beat Aldo in 13 seconds. I don't really care. I don't care how he did it. I really don't. McGregor's not the featherweight GOAT, if that's what you're trying to argue here. I don't care. I think there's actually something more impressive to beating someone unanimously by decision over 3 rounds and winning all of them compared to catching him early. A 3-round Aldo walks into a bar. Everyone else leaves. Dober should be ranked over Gillespie. Yes, maybe I can give you that. But Gillespie shouldn't even be ranked, though. So I don't know if that means that Dober should be ranked. Gillespie's beat no one but Yancy Medeiros. He shouldn't be ranked. Lol, what did Gregor fucking Gillespie do to replace Dober? I know it's ridiculous. But he was always ranked. He didn't replace Dober, so that's dumb. You're stupid there. He was always ranked. Gregor Gillespie's been ranked for ages. He was like number 11 at one point. You know what I mean? Does Mike Perry come back a savage? I don't know. I don't know if I'll trust him. I'm going to pick D-Rod against him. I'll be happy if I'm wrong. I don't trust him. I can't bet my predicting on... I can't bet my reputation on Mike Perry. I don't know what kind of guy's going to show up. So I'll go with D-Rod. Dober fell out because Chandler moved in. Yes, there you go. He did. That's true. And also, RDA moved in. Remember? From welterweight? That's how he moved down. Correct. Mate, I want to put a beating on this sweet Pete MMA guy. He thinks it's tough disrespecting you on video like that. I'll show him what a real man is. I don't care if someone said something about me on video. I'm sorry, dude. You can do what you want. Imagine how Vettori will celebrate if he beats Adesanya. It will be the biggest ADHD moment in UFC history. Yeah, it will be. It will be. No, he fell out of the rankings and Dober was there. They replaced it when Gregor versus Riddell was announced. That is redonkulous. I think you're lying, though. I've never looked at the lightweight rankings and not seen Gillespie's name over the past 2 years. I think you're lying because you said something that wasn't true and now you're trying to back it up because we have no proof. Because you don't have screenshots of the rankings every week. I think you're lying, in all honesty. I don't think Gillespie's ever been out of the rankings. Because he's never been below what he is now. What's he ranked now in the division? Let's check the rankings because we haven't updated them yet. We have, but let me check them. Lightweight. Gillespie's at 15. I remember Gillespie at 11. I don't see him dropping out and coming back in. I don't know if that's true. He has, though. Is Lee ranked? Maybe he's correct here. But I've never seen Gillespie out of those rankings. Maybe for 1 week he was out of the rankings, but I don't know. I don't know about that. He was 11. Now he's 15. I don't know. UFC needs condoms because guys keep pulling out. Indeed. That would mean they don't need them. They don't need condoms in that case. Your personal odds for Leon Edwards versus Muhammad. Leon Edwards minus 180, 190. Where do you draw the line with MMA trash talk, race, religion, kids? I think it's all fair game. Everyone needs to stop being a pussy. It's words. You're going to try and cave in each other's heads. I don't care what's said beforehand. There's no line. The line is whatever you want to be seen as. If you want to tread over the line of saying certain things, your punishment is not like, let's take away his belt. Your punishment is the perception of you by others. That's my opinion on the whole speech punishment thing. If you want to say something that's over the line in the general society's eyes, then that's your punishment. You'll just be seen a certain way, and that'll be who you are. You don't get punished like fucking take the belt, fine him. Fuck that shit. I know that's how it is in the UK, but America's still got freedom of speech somewhat. Well, not really, because you lose your jobs and shit, but you don't get fined and put in prison for it. So I think that it just should be. The punishment is how you're perceived by society. It shouldn't be like anything to do with the government. Till after the Vettori fight, it felt Vettori edged it by a takedown. If I rematch, I'll KO him in a round. I still want to fight Izzy next. I make no excuses. Okay, cool. Yeah. Till saying that Whittaker won it with the takedowns. Dude, you got outlanded in rounds 4 and 5. You know what I mean? What if they said the M word? Then I don't care. I genuinely don't care. I don't care. Then everyone hates him. And he doesn't sell any pay-per-views. Beat him. It's a fight. You know what I mean? I genuinely don't care. Yes, also Cerrone said that he was coming back to lightweight and they gave 14 to Cerrone and kicked out Gregor, yeah. How do you think Volkanovski would do in a current lightweight division? I think he would do quite badly. Khabib would do well on him in the grappling. I think he would just get out grappled. He's a little bit too small. But yeah. Say it then? No, I don't want to say it. I don't want people to see me in that way. But I don't want the government to, or the company to attack me for it. But no, I won't say it because I know that if I say it, then people will perceive me a certain way. But there should be no punishment from above power to me at all. Have you heard Cowboy Cerrone say the M-word? I have. He said it to Rampage Jackson. And Rampage laughed. And said, what's up back? If Khabib beat RDA before RDA got the belt, how did he get a title shot before Khabib? I don't know. Oh, because Khabib kept pulling out of fucking fights. Where were you? Jesus, that's why. Khabib pulled out of every bad matchup for himself. Fact, Ferguson, Cerrone, 2 guys with jiu-jitsu off of their back at lightweight. Can't make it to those ones, but I can make it to everyone else that I can beat. Yeah, Edson Barboza, yeah, I'll make it to that one. Michael Johnson, yeah, give me that fight. Yeah, I can make it to that one. Cerrone and Ferguson, submissions off their back. Yeesh, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make weight for that. Let's get out of this one. Fuck that shit. Fuck Khabib. He's good though, lightweight goat. Vettori is a Roman sex god. Okay, interesting statement. Khabib kept pulling out, that's why indeed. Khabib needs to beat Islam to be GOAT now. No, he doesn't. If Zhang beats Rose dominantly, do you see her beating Shevchenko? No, I don't. Damn, you sound like a hater pussy boy. I just said something that was correct. Your opinion of that is just irrelevant. I just said something that's correct. Your opinion about me because of that is irrelevant. I don't care. If it's fair enough if I was lying, if I was Kevin Holland in the situation, it's a fact. You know what I mean? I don't care what your opinion is. If I'm true, I don't care. You know what I mean? Just tell me how I'm wrong and I'll get over it. And I'll take it back. Can Donald Cerrone submit Khabib? Look what he did to RDA. He armbarred RDA in the fucking twice. He armbarred RDA twice in their fight. But that was grappling only, so it's a little bit different. But, you know, RDA kept getting back up against Khabib. You know what I'm saying? But then again, RDA TKO'd him in an actual fight. So it's different situations in an actual fight, you know what I'm saying? But jiu-jitsu-wise, yes, Cerrone does have better jiu-jitsu than RDA, but, you know. Alex, I'm a real welterweight. Volkanovski, thank you. Costa versus Whittaker prediction. I'm going to go with Paulo Costa. Stipe versus Francis 2. Stipe Miocic. Double leg takedown immediately. Khabib was hurt with rib injuries. Oh no. Yeesh, just one of them rib injuries again. Khabib's so fat now after retirement. He's fighting right into his father's. Let's just not be that disrespectful about him, yeah? That is his family. Who would win Whittaker versus Adesanya 2? Adesanya by decision, I would say. How are you going for Paulo Costa? I'm not. I'm picking Robbie Whittaker. Win the fight. The 4th round TKO. Front kick to the body. Front kick to the body. 4th round TKO. And fucking Costa will be puking out wine in the center of the cage. Mate, I know you're leaning towards Leon, but mentioned you wouldn't bet the fight. You thinking betting a decision prop is maybe a good move? I reckon a TKO prop is a good move just because of the motivation of Edwards going into it. He knows he needs to knock him out. He knows he needs to make a statement. Dana White said unless Leon makes a statement, he won't give him a title shot. So I think there's sort of pressure on him getting a title shot. And I think there's pressure on him getting a finish. So I don't mind the TKO bet, in all honesty. Edwards has got power. He just doesn't use it because he likes to be safe, you know? Juliana Nunes is ducking me, but I pulled out of 2 Aspen Lad fights Pena. Yeah. Khabib's currently building a bunker. He's going to come back for more money. Okay. Did you already have your legendary Jewish kosher kit? No, I did not, and I'm not Jewish either. So you're saying Khabib pulled out because he was scared of Tony and Cerrone off their back, but Khabib had a rib injury. Dumbass, explain now. He pulled out. He's had injuries for other fights, but he made it to him. The only difference is Khabib's been injured in a lot of fights leading up to him. Look at the Gaethje fight. He broke his toe and had mumps. The only reason he still showed up for that bout is because Gaethje had nothing off of his back. Khabib weighs in the style of his opponent upon the natural injuries that every fighter is going to have going into a bout, and he pulled out for it. Ribs are worse. He didn't break his ribs, though. You know what I mean? You said yesterday he won't KO Belal. All right. Thoughts on gender equality? Oh, shut up, stupid bitch. Till versus Vettori prediction. I'm going to go with Marvin Vettori mixes in the takedowns and just is willing to throw punches and stuff. So, yeah. You just said yesterday he won't KO Belal. Yeah, but then I heard Dana White say unless he gets a good performance, then he's not going to give Edwards a title shot. And then I saw a promo where Edwards said he's looking for the knockout. So, things change. You know what I'm saying? Think we'll see another phantom rib injury? Maybe. You sound dumb. Shut the fuck up, Doughboy. All right. I was correct. He's injured before fights. He didn't take it because of the style matchup. If it wasn't a dangerous matchup, he would have taken the fight anyway. The style matchup being dangerous is the reason for him pulling out. You're just typing the same thing. I've already disproved it. But whatever. I'm correct. Type in recent MMA news. Because Leon Edwards has been talking about getting a KO this entire week. You know what I mean? We're looking forward to it. Gender equality is needed to increase. Yeah. Best matchup for Tony in the top 10. Nasrat Akpras versus Rafa Garcia in prediction. I'm not too sure. Also, your response to me talking about the Cerrone fight and the other Ferguson fight is that in one of the Ferguson fights, he pulls out with a rib. So that excludes the other 2 Ferguson bouts and the many Cerrone fights. Oh, good. Guru, I've been up for 24 hours since I had to prepare all night for a uni presentation, but I haven't gone to bed since. Okay. Leon needs a KO to get the win. Heard from Dana. Okay, cool. Belal and Leon are just going to clinch and fight for control time against the cage. It'll be boring. I believe so. We'll see how it goes, though. I don't mind the prop bet on KO, though, just because the odds are great. You know what I mean? How would a prime Brock be if he wasn't sick? I don't know. Pretty good. But he was on roids, so eventually USADA would come along, you know. How good would Prime... I already answered it. I've been up all night for very other reasons. Okay. I'm picking Giles over Delidze. Interesting. Rani versus Rod. Under 1.5 or under. That's all I need to talk about that with. I don't even know if that's a language. Khabib literally ducked Tony last year. He ran away to Russia. Okay, that wasn't his... I'm not saying that it was his fault. But I'm just saying, like, the few fights that he couldn't show up for just so happened to be the best guys off their back in the division. That's my opinion. He's been injured before for fights and he still shows up. Every fighter's injured before fights. They still show up. Some pull out. But I think the only reason he chose to maybe pull out of certain ones is because he didn't like the risk versus the reward. You know what I mean? Till I'll corner Perry and then spot him in the street and that. Yeah. Why did Conor duck Dennis Siver for years? I don't know, dude. I don't know. That was in that entire time, you know, Dennis Siver breathing down his neck for the rematch. How would I do in a street fight? I'm going to pick with a fighter in Vegas at a club soon. I don't know. Just have fun. You know what I mean? Try and enjoy it a little bit. The Khabib fanboys will do anything. Nah, we'll see. I'm not trying to attack Khabib. It's just people who don't. I'm just saying truthful things. You know what I mean? What's your favorite pre-USADA moment? My favorite pre-USADA moment is probably watching Vitor Belfort walk to the cage and no one say anything. Is Sean O'Malley a future champ or future boom? Yeah. I think he's a future top 10 contender. I don't think he's going to be champ, though. Khabib would have broke Tony's soul, but Tony's old ass pulled out from UFC 223. What's your explanation now? That washed bum can't win a fight now. Feed old man to Islam. Okay, Tony Ferguson tripped over a cord and split apart his leg and was out for 6 months and couldn't walk on his own. A very different situation, of course. You've mentioned one moment out of the 3 times that Khabib pulled out against Ferguson where his rib was, according to him, broken. There's another 2 times, and another 2 times against Cerrone. I think it might have been 3 times against Cerrone that you have no explanation for. You're just a little bit delusional, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Can UFC 261 get more fights? It's so unstacked right now, indeed. Most obvious duck in MMA other than Jorge. I'm going to go with the most obvious duck. I'm trying to think what fighter is actually resembles a duck. I'm not too sure. Most obvious duck in MMA other than Masvidal. I mean, listen, I don't know if Masvidal's the most obvious duck. I think Masvidal is ducking so that he can lose with the most on the line. But he's not ducking as in like he's scared to fight, but he just wants to get the best fight possible for himself. So he's, in a way, he's ducking. But I'd say most obvious duck, Jermaine Durandamy against Chris Cyborg. Easy. Ryan Hall. Maybe Ryan Hall because he pulls out of fights with injuries and then calls someone out the week afterwards. But I'll say this. Jermaine Durandamy against Chris Cyborg is the most obvious duck. She literally said that's the reason why she doesn't want to have the featherweight belt. Conor ducking Pimlet. Okay. If Belal versus Colby happens, you know damn well Colby will mention Israel and Palestine. It'll be maybe. I don't think he will. Adesanya blatantly said he knew he would lose to John Jones if they fought currently. Yeah. True. Also, Adesanya, I don't want to get Canelo'd. That was a line from him. I don't want to get Canelo'd. I'm not ready for John Jones yet. So that is another blatant duck. But, you know, people do that. Nico Montana duck. Okay. Yep, that's true as well. Let's give Pena credit for finally creating an exciting female fight. I mean, no. There are exciting female fights, like everyone at strawweight, where the females can actually fight with some technique. You know what I mean? Khabib bathtub meet and greet. No girls allowed. Humble is the password. Okay. Rani versus Rod over 1.5 or under 1.5. I'm an idiot, but answer the question. Okay. I think Rani Yaya wins by unanimous decision 30-27. There you go, good sir. More CTE, Gaethje, or Poirier? I'm going to go with Justin Highlight Gaethje. No. Yes. Highlight Gaethje. Poirier's got it. He's got it. He's dancing the dance. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see how it goes, good sir. Khabib is ducking Dariush. Khabib is not ducking Dariush, good sir. I don't believe that. Good, did you see Belal Muhammad? That's not how you spell it. And Ottoman Zaitar video. Belal is funny as fuck. Belal is funny. One thing I like about Belal Muhammad is the Felder thing is really interesting. You know what I'm saying? Really interesting. Did you know after Tony pulled out of the Khabib 2018, Khabib versus Ortega was going to fight him? Or Khabib versus Ortega was going to happen, but they couldn't do it for a belt. Why couldn't they do it for a... Oh, because he wasn't a champion yet. That makes sense. What do you think would have... Wait, they can't do Khabib Ortega for a belt, but they can do Khabib versus Al Quinta? Okay. Ortega was like... Didn't Ortega beat Edgar before that? Interesting. Good, did you see Belal Muhammad and Ottoman Zaitar video? Bilal's funny. I've seen it. I liked his Paul Felder prank where he gets the guy to kiss. He gets Paul Felder to try and kiss the guy's hand. You know what I mean? Till versus Rob was very close. IMO 3-2 Rob. And if Till didn't get taken down over and controlled at the end of the 5th and had landed a couple of leg kicks instead, I could see Till 3-2. No, round 4 is Whitaker's round. Round 4 is Robert's round. It's a close round, don't get me wrong, but Whitaker landed too many shots, in my opinion. Round 5 is also Whitaker's round without the takedown. But yeah, we can play this game where if Till lands this many shots at the end, but that didn't happen. You know what I mean? Who would win, Garn or Blades? I'm going to go with Cyril Garn. Most likely, my friend, my brother. You know what I'm saying? Tony also pulled out because of a lung issue. Now what's your excuse, Virgin? I don't know. My topic was on Khabib. You can talk about other fighters doing it. So you're calling Tony Ferguson out for doing what I have called Khabib out for in a defense of me calling out Khabib for doing something. Do you understand, Samir Huck? The interesting part of what you're doing. You're getting at Tony Ferguson for something, okay, that I am saying Khabib did. in defense of me saying Khabib did something, you need to understand, okay? You need to understand. Just feed that bum to Islam so he can get smashed. No! Because he's old. I want to see Ferguson coming off a win before he fights Makhachev. I want to see Makhachev versus Ferguson. I want Ferguson to be coming off a win. I want the promotion to be Ferguson's back and now he's fighting Makhachev. I don't want the promotion to be Ferguson, you don't got it no more and let's just feed him to this guy. You know what I mean? I want it. I want the momentum to be in accordance with each other moving upwards, you know? Till landed a shot that actually hurt Rob at one point in the fourth. He did, but then again, he got outlanded by so many. The 3 strike differential, was it only 3? It didn't really hurt Rob. I know it put him off balance at one point, but it's not like he was rocked like he was against Cannonier, you know what I mean? But he did get smacked with a shot. It wasn't a 3 strike differential. There's no way. Where's the fucking stats for this? There's no way it was a free. There was more than 3 strike differential in that round. Where's the stats? There we are. Okay. Okay. There was a 5 strike differential. This how you want to play the game with the guru? Huh? 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 This how you want to play the game? You want to play the game of changing the numbers for the guru so he can maybe sway his opinion? Huh? Or you want to play the real game of arguments? You can't get past me, okay? It was 5. It was 5. So I think it's a little bit too many. And round 4 was 17-12 without the takedowns. So I'd go with Till losing those last 2 rounds. I think it was 4-1 Whittaker. I can see an argument for some rounds, but like, there's no argument in my opinion. I don't know. Maybe watching it live, you could maybe score 4 for Till if you were like part watching it and you saw Whittaker get hurt by the biggest shot in the round or something like that. But if you're watching it, I don't think you can give that to Till. I think it's 4-1 Whittaker, although round 4 and 5 were really close. But Till just decided that he was okay to go to a decision. Till lost all 4 rounds. He's overrated Doughboy, Till sissy. I mean, he did lose all 4 rounds, but he's very close with Whittaker, I guess. And that is a guy who isn't an overrated Doughboy sissy. So maybe that's the cutoff point. Just barely not being Whittaker is enough to being called a sissy. Fair play. Do you regret calling Rakic a stupid Serb? I do. I do regret calling Rakic a stupid Serb. I was angry because I could see them giving the first round to Santos, but no one else can. And that is annoying to me. That really annoys me because that should have been a split decision, in my opinion. I haven't watched it back yet because it's not one that I'm really rushing to watch back, in all honesty. It wasn't the most action-packed of fights. But, like, you know, it's interesting. You know what I mean? I don't think that it was a close round. I had it 3-0. No, you didn't have it 3-0. You didn't have it 3-0. There's no way you can give the third round to Rakic. It's 2-1 Rakic in the first 2 rounds. But, like, that first round's close. You know what I mean? It could go either way. Crazy Ginger Jake Holden had it to Santos. And I picked Rakic as well by decision. And I said it will be a boring decision as well. But, like, I guess he landed cleaner in the first. Whatever. I don't know, man. I'll watch it again because that first round is close. And I was worried for him going into that third. I thought he needs to... Rakic fights like he can't be robbed of a decision, and how in the hell will they be able to make a promo for him if he ever fights for a title? So boring as of late. I mean, yeah, but they can make a promo of him because they have the Manoa head kick. So that's all they need, I guess, which is unfortunate. I had it 4-1 Holloway. Okay. I had it 2-1 Rakic. All right, cool. UFC commentary is amazing. Okay. That's not true. I'm going to go now, guys. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see you later. I had Santos, but maybe unbiased. Interesting. BR. I think it could have gone either way. I edged Santos to unbias myself in the moment, but I think it could have gone either way that first round. It's close. Watch it back. I've seen people saying Santos won. Yeah, I'm telling you. People just blindly went, yeah, Rakic wins because it was boring. I feel like when fights are boring, no one cares if there's a robbery because they don't care because they're already angry enough that it wasn't entertaining, you know. I think Jones would have to wrestle Yan in order to win. Indeed. Anyway, see you later. I don't think he would have to wrestle him. He might be able to just oblique kick him to a win. Jones is a really long guy. He's actually 6'4". Adesanya is not 6'4". We need to put that to rest. He's like 6'2". Jan Blachowicz is like 6'1". And he wasn't like many inches shorter than Adesanya. Adesanya's like 6'2". Let's just say it how it is. Goodbye, guys. Thank you for watching. Tudor Pippington. But I'm fine with Rakic getting the first and second. I guess he landed the cleaner shots. I'll watch it. See you later, guys. Thank you for watching. And my pipes, they're about to explode, I swear to God. One of these days, that will be like an explosion of water coming at my face. So we'll wait for that day to come. See you later, guys. I'm going to go. Members, go to the community tab. I'll be live with you shortly. There's nothing to make a fucking video about today, so I have no idea what I'm going to do. I'll just upload this. How about that? I'll upload this for you guys. That's easy. See you later, guys. Community tab. Check it out. Members, I'm about to go live. I'll see you all later. Toodle pip. Also, before I go, let me just plug this shit. You know what I'm saying? Members streams, £5 a month. Get all weekly 50-minute memberships. It's pretty good. 50 minutes to an hour of talk in a members-only Q&A. I upload all of those ones, so go check them out. You know what I'm saying? See you later, guys. Goodbye. I'll be back tomorrow at the same time. Toodle pip. Why didn't it end? It didn't end. Okay, now it's going to end. It's not ending. I don't know why it's not ending. Now it is. Okay, cool.